everyone, and welcome to another episode of Call of the Netherdeep here on Dork Tales. I am your dungeon master and host, Kelly. I use he and him, and I'm super excited to be here today because we are finally making it to the Netherdeep. We're down in the Nethers, real deep. It's finally there. So I'm very excited for that. We got some announcements. We got some stuff that I want to talk about before we begin. But I'm very excited because we're finally entering chapter 6, and it is going to be a lot of fun. Got a little bit of housekeeping that we got to do first, though. So I'm going to pass this over in a big circle, starting with hi, Robin.
Hi, I'm Robin. I use she, her pronouns, as does Kaeko, Skaar, Goliath, Barbarian.
Oh,
and today was an interesting day. I got to sleep an extra 2 hours because it fucking snowed and I got my car stuck trying to dig it out for, work tomorrow. So I won't be driving to work, and we'll see if I have another snow day tomorrow. So it's been a crazy day, and I'm excited to do a little bit of deeping in the Nethers. Kaiko's quite familiar with that.
So, I just caught up to what you said.
Thank you.
So just to contextualize this for all of our viewers in America and Europe and the UK and all of that, we're in Canada. We're in the one part of Canada that's not supposed to snow. And last night we got
15 to 20 centimeters.
So my dog's this tall. Like, my dog's like about 2 feet tall at the shoulder. And it was up to his chest. He was surfing the snow today on his walk. So the entire city's shut down. We don't have plows, so we still have electricity. And
we have like 2 plows.
And that's
but
how
they have an entire city to do.
I spent time with my boy.
I also spent time with my boy.
I spent time watching his boy.
Good. We're good parents.
I spent time in the snow.
Speaking of people who like to spend time with their boy, it's time for Christa and Dax.
Hello, I'm Christa. I use she, they, or her, them pronouns, and I play Sabina Moorden, our Lotus Den Halfling Beastmaster Ranger and Hexblade Warlock of Coralon, and her beast companion Dax the Moorbounder. And yes, we got about a foot and a half, 2 feet of snow, and I shoveled most of it. I have a quarter-mile driveway, which is great when it's not snowing because we're far away from the road and other people's houses. But it was brutal. So my glutes will be feeling it in the morning for sure. But
we want photos
I gotta
on
get
Instagram.
to work. So
and
exactly.
Isn't your character also a rival to a rival now?
I am. I have finally arrived.
So shouldn't that be in your ever expanding title? I
Oh,
feel like every
okay,
session you should add something on.
Oh my god!
Lotus Den
She's not
Halfling,
Daenerys
Beastmaster Ranger,
Targaryen.
Warlock,
But she could be.
Hexblade Warlock of Coralon, and rival
Mother
to a
of
rival.
Moorbounders.
Oh god.
Mother of Moorbounder.
It's like sister
Oh,
of
boy.
Moorbounders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Daughter of Moorbounders.
Sabina's like a
Daughter of
version
Moorbounder.
to any of that sort of thing. I don't think mother's necessarily the right term.
All right.
No.
Speaking of parents of little monsters, coming soon. Hi, Chris.
Oh, hello. I'm Chris. I go by Blogg in the chat and on the Discord, and you can find me here on Dork Tales. I use he, him, and they pronouns, and I'm playing ex-Professor Dorlen Wildrock, or maybe currently Professor. I don't know yet, but somebody's pretending to be me, and I don't like that.
That's fair. All right, let's pass over to Caitlan.
Hello, I'm Caitlan. I use she, her pronouns, and so does Xarria, Rainn, the tiefling cleric of blood. But I will be playing tonight. A blood.
All right, and finally, Christine.
Hello, I'm Christine. I use she, her pronouns. I also got a snow day, and my hips are very sore from wading through knee-deep snow to take the dog for a walk, which I don't think he enjoyed yet didn't enjoy. He was pretty shivery by the end, I think, because it was that cold.
We need to get him a suit.
I did put his jacket on him, but because of how deep the snow was, he was basically dragging his nether region through snow the whole way
Yeah, that's not pleasant. I've been there before. Don't ask.
So, well, now I'm curious.
I grew
Well,
up
you
in the
said don't
Midwest. We have very little to do.
ask.
But I am playing Zenada Vosh, our orc Echo Knight fighter, who also uses she, her. Yes.
Which, that was not always the case.
No, it was not. But I have a feeling it was maybe he, they.
It was
The previous
definitely they, but I left the determinant other side of that, the loadout. I left to your decision.
Yes. I feel like it was he, they. Leaning more towards they on the multiple most of the time.
Hello, oh, precarious.
Wow.
Was that 20 subs?
Brett, what the hell?
Wait, was that
I think
50?
That was 50.
50?
50
Oh my
subs?
God.
Holy crap.
Did you get a
Brett.
Christmas bonus?
We did.
What the hell, Brack?
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Brett.
Breck's just trying to buy himself into the next campaign, and it's working.
I mean, let's be
Football
fair.
match.
Breck's already
Yeah.
cool.
I would
Breck-
love to game with Breck again.
Breck was already on the edge there anyway.
That
But he's
Murder
so
on the
busy.
Eberron Express
I-
thing was so much fun.
I actually did invite him to some stuff, but he's just like super busy. Like, honestly, I have talked to him about some stuff. Thank you, Precarious.
you.
For those who have no idea what I'm talking
Miss
about
you all
on
the time.
YouTube or podcast later, a subscription on Twitch is basically like a paid membership that gives you access to the show ad-free. And our good friend Precarious, who's also a demonic producer on the channel, just donated 50 of these things, and that's a really big deal. That's a lot of money. Thank you so much, man. That's really appreciated. I hope you
Do you
have
want to know
happy
something
holidays.
insane?
What?
Breck has gifted a total of 450 subs to this channel.
50 more and you're at 500,
goodness.
Breck. Then you unlock like silver wings in heaven.
I will do
Oh
my
my
best
God.
cosplay of Precarious. I am Santa.
Yes,
Aw.
that is a
To
very
all the children.
accurate.
Really? You just look like a hoe to me.
Well, I mean,
That's Kaeko ho ho.
Oh, that's cake.
I clearly need to I need a beard, and then I
Yeah,
won't look
there
like
we
me
go.
as much.
Oh,
I like
thought
the
that was when you did.
the
Never mind.
Kaeko ho 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 one.
Kaeko ho ho.
Thank you so much, Breck.
How about this one?
Uh,
This one?
All right, so
Oh, it's cute.
introductions done. Let's quickly. I just want to give a couple of announcements.
adorable.
Right now, we are four patrons away from hitting 125 patrons over on patreon.com/dorktales, which is the unlock for Robin running the Radiant Citadel.
Panic at the Citadel. That's
Panic at the
my
Citadel.
unofficial title for the game.
I know that we're losing 2 people at the end of the month because of some life circumstances. So technically probably 6 patrons away, but if you were ever looking to support the channel, you can do it for as little as $1 a month. Head to patreon.com/dorktales. At the $5 tiers or higher, you get access to content 3 months before everybody else. And given the fact that Dorktales the podcast is going to be dropping in about 2 weeks, as well as all the behind the scenes materials, as well as Panic at the Citadel, Technocracy Zero Sum, and Strixhaven, including the Strixhaven spin-off episodes, which we just had our season finale last night, which was a hell of a lot of fun. Krista, thank you so much for letting me get poisoned. That was great.
Allowing you to be poisoned.
I sent Krista a message. You better poison me. You better hurt me more. Hurt me, mommy.
See?
And people wonder why people mistake you and Chris for each other.
This is true. This is true. Also, like, yeah, basically it's just hair color at this point. Oh, and no, I was gonna say we both have nice butts now. Because
I don't know about that.
after I hurt my
definitely have
back,
a tank ass.
I honestly, Christine, you got a smack of it earlier. Is it getting tanky?
Can confirm.
My physio guy was just like, yeah, you.
And I have seen Chris's like
Chris has got a booty.
bent over and slapping it. So
With a
It's a
sticker that
wonderful
says very
picture.
sexy.
yep.
That sounds like
That was a
yeah.
LARP event.
So yeah, my physio guy was just like, just do squats, and then you don't have to see me anymore. And I'm like, that's way cheaper than paying you.
What? Well, what is that to fix?
That's to fix my back problem when I
Yes.
when I pinched a nerve.
Same.
Nervesies.
It was, hey, do
It's
squats.
exactly
and
what
that'll
I
fix
need
it.
to do too.
So,
yeah, I did squats earlier today because
what you should do
I also did
is
mine
do what
today.
I do and do squats while you brush your teeth.
I
Oh.
have
You
to
got
pay
nothing
attention to mine though.
To your squats? Oh, yeah, because you have your thing. Anyway,
I have to do them kind of weird. So
more fun announcements. Folks, right now over on Patreon, you can watch our special holiday game, which I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's a surprise, or you can tune in on Christmas Day around noon, where it's going to be broadcast live as a premiere, both here and on YouTube simultaneously. Actually, technically 1 minute earlier on YouTube so that it's a YouTube first, and then it bypasses a Twitch clause. But you can watch it either place. It is a fantastically fun game that Christa ran, and that's all I'm going to say about it. It is a lot of fun.
There is a guest star.
There's a guest star,
That's
and
new to the
he is lovely. He's lovely and gregarious, and
Very good,
deep.
Good word for him.
Gregarious, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So besides that, quick reminder that don't forget that you can also buy coffee. You can also get T-shirts. And there's a bunch of new T-shirts on the Dork Tales T Public right now. They'll be added to the Red bubble soon. I think you'll like them. And we need to get a... Oh, Robin, put a note to get a logo made by Mike for like a Dork Tales snow globe for for Citadel. We should get one for Strixhaven.
Dork Tales snow globe.
So he calls them snow globes because they're kind of transparent things. We were using a I can do one for Strixhaven though.
I'll send a note to Mike right now because I've been in contact with him about frames.
Nice. All right, and then finally, the last thing I have to say is be sure to tune into Dragonlance tomorrow night at depending on what is happening with the snow situation, it'll either be running at 7 o'clock as normal, or we'll be running at 8 o'clock to give people some extra time to get ready. Just check our Twitter or Facebook or our Discord, which you should obviously be on, and we'll keep you up to date on which one it is. But it's going to be fantastic. And during the break tomorrow, we are giving away one of our last 2 sets of Norse Foundry metal dice, including a D20 boulder, which is about the size of a golf ball, if I'm not mistaken. So you definitely want to be in there and try to win that. If you live in the US, you get the prize. If you live outside of the US, you receive a gift certificate if you win, and it's really good. And the game's going to be dope as hell because I finally bought my copy of it. Let me rephrase this. I finally bought my second copy of it because my first one still has not made it here from D&D Beyond / Wizards of the Coast. So at least they're getting a lot of money out of me. All right. So without further ado, folks, we are going to head into game. Chris, what's up?
Content warning.
Thank you for staying on top of me. I asked the players to make sure that I reminded you all of something, which I'm going to do right now. So we're going to head into game in just a sec. But before I do that, I just wanted to give a quick content warning for the remainder of the campaign, actually. So in a lot of these settings, it's really easy to take things that are intended to be very, very deep and emotionally nuanced elements of games and make them funny. Curse of Strahd can very easily be inverted to be a tale of a really sad, pathetic emo, and so on like that. However, Call of the Netherdeep, this is a minor spoiler, at this point is going into the realm of metaphor, and that metaphor is going to cover issues of depression and anxiety. The remainder of the campaign will be full of these things, and I just want to impose both on myself and my players and my audience that it is going to get a little darker at times and is going to be dealing with some very mature themes. We're going to try to do it as best we can, but it might get a little real because I know at least several of the players and myself sometimes struggle with these issues. So it's going to be kind of raw, and hopefully that'll be okay. But if it's not okay for you, then, you can always come back later. We're going to be here. Take care of yourself first. But with that in mind, I do want to say that I also want to encourage everybody who's running this module or playing this module, like including you guys, to remind yourselves that there is a difference between like depression and the big sad, that gets kind of rounded up, and that anything I do is leaning into the former, not the latter. And that because of that, and because we're probably going to be doing a little bit of method with some of this, that it could lead to some raw emotions. So watch your bleed, and your in and out of character bleed, and we're going to have a lot of fun being sad.
I'm not allowed to be too sad because I do not want to cry off this makeup.
Yeah. She cried so hard she became a human. All right, so y'all ready for this?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, without further ado, let's return to Call of the Netherdeep here on Dork Tales. All right, so last time on Call of the Netherdeep, you all met up with your rivals. You had a rough encounter with them, and after making some amends and vowing to work together, they broke a teleportation tablet and returned you to the roof of the now abandoned First Eclipse in Ankarel. There, you caught your breath, dried out a bit, and headed to a nearby bar to grab a drink and a bite of food. Before long, you found yourself sitting around a large table on the roof of the step aside. The proprietors kept you in food and drink, and for the first time in a long time, the 10 of you and Dax found yourselves relaxing and enjoying a cup of watered wine, some fresh skewered meat, roasted vegetables, and heavily spiced tubers. Is there anything that you wanted to do during this talk, during this relaxation session?
Catch up with them, find out what's been happening with them, and yammer away endlessly on what's been happening with us. Like stuffing my face full of these like spiced tubers. What kind of spice is this? This is amazing. I need to write this down.
So that's going to be a mix of cumin and allspice on those boys, but there's definitely be other ones that are like sweet spiced. So what these are is, have you ever had sunchoke, Chris?
I don't think so.
Okay, I need you to picture something that has the consistency roughly of a potato and tastes like a sunflower seed.
I'm here for it.
They're some of the most delicious things that you can ever eat. They're incredibly oily. They're an offshoot of sunflower, and they're made of sunflower oil more than anything else. They're quite good.
This is delicious. We'll just start like, oh, so what happened with you guys? Like, you seem to have gone through quite a lot right now.
Well, just the usual, right? Like, adventuring, fighting fish, getting disembodied.
Oh, the terrible death tunas? Disembodied?
He raises his mechanical arm.
Oh, yeah.
Getting disarmed? Disarmed.
There we disarmed. That's a good way to put it. I mean,
yeah.
Maybe
it's not my favorite. I miss the arm, but hey, maybe when this is all over, we can buy me a new one.
Buy you a new one, or I'm sure there's like some magic that can help out with that, or you could let me take a look at it. Maybe I could. I wonder what I could fit it in there.
Oh my goodness! Do not let him look at it.
I'm gonna need someone to protect me from him, though.
I mean, I suppose I could do that.
You fight really well, the ogre says, leaning over to you, Zenada. Maggie looms over you, and you can see that even sitting on the roof, she takes up a lot of space, and people are constantly casting looks at her just because she's an oddity. This giant ogre whose head looks honestly like a lumpy sack of apples.
So what's your name?
Maggie.
Nice to meet you, Maggie. I'm Zenada.
Zenada. Nice to meet you.
You fight quite well, too.
I don't really like to, but I'm good
That's
at
fair.
it. I can't wait until I guess it's kind of a critical mass. Hurt enough people to never have to hurt anybody again.
Fair. What do you like to do, then?
I like poetry.
Oh, that's nice. Do you have any favorites?
Recently, I've been reading a lot of things by Mersonius, and Corban, and Jafalon.
Nice. I've heard of a few of those.
They're pretty good, although Jafalon is a bit bawdy.
A little raunchy.
I don't really... It's not my style, but I can appreciate the lyricism.
Fair.
How
I tend
about-
to... Oh, I tend to read more novel type
Oh.
stories versus poetry, but I've come across a few, yeah. I can't think of names off the top of my head right now as Christine, but I'll put out some drow ones or something like that.
The Intripiad. Yes, I've heard of it, but I've only ever read fragments of it, usually quoted in forewords of other books. It's quite referenced. I recently have been trying to get into more literature that is blue collar. What she means is, Irvin's gonna say, ask her about the dragon book. Let's not talk about the dragon book. What's the dragon book? Dermot.
There's a dragon book?
What's his dragon book?
You don't have to if you don't want to. Zenada will lean over quietly.
Scales of Passion.
Ah, one of those.
Yeah, it's kind of like that book Tusk Love, but it's about dragons.
Kaeko, you might enjoy that.
What? It's a
But
book. I need to learn more letters.
Tusk Love. Isn't that the one
I'm sure
Zara's reading?
Bodhi could read
It
to
is
you, though.
actually.
Oh,
Is it-
That could be a very good bonding event.
Oh.
I've been looking for a copy. I'm almost done. If you ever want to trade.
Oh, sure. I finished the other one quite quickly, actually. Here, let me just find it. Aha! Got it.
It's amazing that it's not waterlogged.
Oh, well, they must put some protection on them in the library. Would make sense to me.
Fair. So what's the plan? Io says, leaning and putting her feet up on the corner of the table, away from the food. We gotta have a plan. I know we're out in the open right now, but the noise, we don't have a much better place to actually do this unless you've got, what, like an apartment or something? They're probably listening there too anyway.
That's true. But mine has a toilet.
What's a toilet?
It's got plumbing and everything. I'm on like one of the... Am I on the top floor? I think I'm on the top floor. But it like... When you go to the washroom and do your business and you flush it all down and water comes down and gets rid of it.
You make water and soil on a plum tree? I don't think that's what he means by plumbing. I like plums.
It's a ceramic basin with water going into it, and then it flushes everything out of it.
A porcelain
away.
throne.
King Dorlen.
I've never aspired to rule, but it has a nice ring to it.
Not the cleanest title.
Your Highness, then? We should call you. Don't.
I don't think anyone would ever call me Your Highness. I'm kind of short, but...
Keiko's gonna get up and then pick up Dorlen.
Well, there you
This
go.
reminds me of the time I met you guys.
Sabina is sitting quietly, kind of sort of listening, but also has like an early reader's book that she's working her way through.
Oh.
The Moorbounder says,
Oh.
all right, so if that's what we're planning to work together,
Yeah. I mean, things always were a little bit nicer with the whole team together.
how many levels of exhaustion do you guys have?
One.
One? Zero?
I don't think I have any.
I thought someone had 2 or 3 from last episode. One?
I have 2 levels of corruption, but I
yes,
had
that's it.
worn off rested from my exhaustion, so now I'm exhausted again.
Both of you look pretty tired. My suggestion is we start first thing in the morning. We have a teleportation circle down there that you saw. We have a tablet that'll get us there. So, meet us where's good for you. We're staying in the Suncut Bazaar.
Sure, I'm sure we could just meet you here. Or anywhere in the Suncut Bazaar.
So here's my idea. We head down there. We take care of any loose ends that we need to inside of, the middle ground. And then, you grab any extra keys that you need. Galsariad, tell him what you know. Galsariad leans forward with a weariness about him, like, honestly, like a grandfather being forced to sit at the kids' table. In the reports that I read from the consortium, there was one who was able to enter inside of the void, crossed into the Netherdeep. They were the first to bring Ruidium back. They expressed that the pressure within the Netherdeep was enough to nearly crush the life out of them. It's been theorized by the powers that be that Ruidium could counteract such a thing, much like it gives the ability to breathe underwater. I am uncertain if that, he glances down at of course, the prayer, the Jewel of Three Prayers around your neck, Xarria, if that will be sufficient to sustain you. Or else it may squash the life out of you like a grape in a press.
Well, I have this trident. She'll kind of motion towards the trident strapped between her and her shield.
Who still requires an item?
I think just Zenada.
I don't.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if
any.
this is enough.
He'll give you a look over, leaning forward, not touching you, but just giving it a nice look over. It may be. If I were you, I would be more comfortable having an additional item on me, just in case. Once we get there and it tries to crush the life out of you, going backwards there would be too much time wasted.
So we're literally going to a place that is going to try and crush us?
Well, it's probably the pressure, because it's really deep underwater. So you've got all of that water, that's all weighing down on you. Like individually, it's not a whole lot. And like rain, you think you're swimming and doing whatever, but the deeper you get, the more is on top, and you just kind of go.
Is that how water works?
Think about it, like being at the bottom of a dog pile.
Oh.
I had a lot of brothers
like
and sisters, so
too much weight.
Yeah,
For lifting things.
You don't think about it, but Dermot stammers. Water is actually pretty heavy.
It's not very heavy when I'm drinking it, and Kaeko will down a pint of ale that's on the table.
Perhaps Ao is right, and we should all go rest for now, though.
I would settle up anything you have to do in the city, too.
Do we have to do anything in the city? I forgot.
I don't know. I don't live your lives, but if we get down there and something happens, I wouldn't want to have any regrets. You know? This ain't gonna be easy. Should we should tell them about the other thing. Dermot looks around, trying to encourage his friends to do a bit of speaking up, and he says that, and you're gonna notice that for the first time, like, Dermot, he still has a little bit of a stutter, but there's a real confidence behind his words once they make their way out, and there's a steadiness to his gaze, especially now that he has both eyes back. He looks around the table, and we should let them know. Galsariad will lean forward. There are some parts of Ruidium that you should be aware of. The corruption, the taint of it is obvious. There are two things that the Allegiance of Allsight does not want you to know. And the Cobalt Soul probably doesn't want you to either. But researchers with the Vermilion Dream have noticed two things. One, it has a habit of corrupting other items that it is in contact with, transferring. Not necessarily viral, but like rust, just on a much faster scale. The other is that it's innately magical. It can be used to replace vast swaths of magical resources. Each piece is about equivalent to any bit of magical ingredients, Dermot says, up to about a cost of, I don't really know the limit, but I've used it for diamond dust, for Revivify.
Whoa.
What are the side effects of that?
We don't know.
Yeah.
I guess I'll know when it happens, says Irvin kind of shyly. When I lost the arm, I went down pretty hard. They kind of lost me for a second. It was just a second. You're still with us. Yeah. Yeah, I am.
And we're happy you are.
But it means that...
Aria's gonna kind of like get closer and put a reassuring hand on his shoulder.
He will put a hand on your hand.
Oh.
So... yeah, so there's that, Io will say. Who knows what someone like you could do with that, she says, gesturing over at Dorlen.
I'm wondering what I could do with that.
If you don't want to risk finding magic items with it, you might be able to craft something with that with a bit of ruidium.
But you're saying it does bad things.
It does things.
Why would you?
Because you need something to get inside of the Netherdeep and to survive inside of there. if you don't want to risk trying to fight off some of the aboleth spawn, it might be a better idea just to make your own, you know? If you don't have a rudium weapon, store-bought's fine, you know? Or homemade's fine.
Yeah, yes, I'm just, I
DIY.
that's all fine when we're in the Netherdeep. I'm just saying it doesn't make sense when we're back.
We should tell them the other thing. Dermot says, putting his foot very firmly down. Dermot, I don't think... No. If we're working together, we should. Fine. It's like what he said. Io says, leaning in. It spreads. It's not fast, but it spreads like rust. It's hard to get a hold of at this point. The consortium hired us to set up a route so that they could monopolize it. The Allegiance of All Sight wants to set up a pipeline so they can control it. And I'm betting the Cobalt Soul the way that you were reacting once it shut down. The consortium's figured out a fourth option. They're trying to synthesize it. There are a bunch of experiments that are going on. I don't understand it, and Xarria won't talk about it. No one should. Well, nonetheless, keeping ruidium among other pieces of equipment, seeing if it can spread, seeing if they can start self-perpetuating it, growing it like, I don't know, like those chia doll things, you know? Oh, it's like, it was a fad when I was a kid, these dolls, and they were sackcloth dolls with chia seeds in them, and chia would grow out like hair. It was a thing.
Oh, okay.
I guess the Allegiance of All Sight's thinking is flawed if they're trying to pipeline it, because if it can spread on its own, and if what the Vermilion Dream is saying is correct, then if any of it gets out, it could make more. And if we don't know the effects of long-term corruption.
The homemade stuff apparently isn't as good. But
Well, that's good, at least. Yet.
well,
That just means they haven't practiced enough yet or experimented enough with it.
it's not that it's not good. Xarria will cut you off. It's that it's not stable. The few
That doesn't
experiments.
sound good.
No, it's not good. The few experiments I was able to witness showed that it was volatile.
Ooh, sounds up my alley. I'm good with unstable things.
Except that the volatility created explosions. And explosions created shrapnel.
Ooh.
And the shrapnel... He looks down at Sabina's hand. Yeah. Perpetuates.
And this stuff makes you cranky, right? Like you guys all acted weird and mean from it. Right? Does
Sabina
something
looks
to
a
your
little
mind?
offended.
It does all sorts of things. But yeah, loosely, yeah, kinda. It affects your mood a bit, but it's really potent. So I don't know, it's kind of a mixed bag, right? Irvin will say.
So, as long as we have it on us, we're okay to go down there, but we don't have to use it, right?
Shouldn't have to.
I mean, mine's on a sword. so I'll probably swing it.
The problem is that it's real useful.
Yeah, I noticed. We'll look at his, we'll play with his ring a little bit.
So, what's everybody's corruption level? Just so I can check in here.
Oh no.
So, Sabina, on top of your current level, the as you're holding up your hand, you're going to see that besides the rash, the iridium actually has branched off into pulsing crimson veins that are kind of spreading out, like kind of like a spider bite.
She's gonna be continuously kind of angling to, like, pulling down a sleeve and sort of like angling all the time that her hand's like in a pocket or like behind a book or so that nobody can see it.
Well, we do need to try and get enough of it so that we can try and figure out at least how to stop it and what the effects are on people.
Yes, but I'm saying isn't it a problem that both the Allegiance of Holsight and the Vermilion Dream want to use it? Like, it's fine to take it to save Elixion and stuff, but this seems weird that they're willing to potentially bring in something unknown and unstable and into the thing.
It's powerful, I will say.
Mm-hmm.
People want power. They'll do anything to get it. And I don't know. I just figured that if they're going to get it anyway, the stuff that they're making, the second generation stuff, isn't stable. It's not good. So if they're going to do it anyway, we might as well make sure that they get the real stuff, which isn't as bad. Hopefully. It seemed like a better idea at the time, but the more we get into it, the less sure I am. Yeah, I agree. It's tricky.
There definitely isn't a clear right answer, but I can see where you're coming from for sure.
So now what? What do you guys want to do? Urban says.
Why don't we get some rest and meet up tomorrow morning?
Yes, actually, some rest would be absolutely amazing. Kaeko looks down at her beaten and bloody self as Robin remembers her character sheet.
Alright, so where are we meeting tomorrow? Io asks.
Have you heard of Bodhi's Bodacious Bodega? It's in the Sun Cup Bazaar.
The new shop, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been a couple times. The proprietor is that sassy know-it-all, the one with the funky accent.
Yes, my husband.
Does that change what I just said from being true?
No, but I just want to reiterate that he's my husband.
Well, I'm not trying to lay with him.
No, I just wanted to let you know if you were going to say something, anything else offensive about him, that, you know, he is important to me, and
I mean, he's a little sassy.
He kind of smells like an Asterian brothel, but
Kaeko works hard to get him smelling that way.
And thank Zenada. Yes, all right.
Well, so why were you down there then? The Cobalt Soul sent you down?
The visions that we got from Kaeko points to the jewel. Remember Elixion?
Yeah, but you're wearing a Legions of Allsight badges, and you're sure not members of the Legions of Allsight. So I'm assuming that the Cobalt Soul pulled some strings. We were told that they were sending agents down there.
Yes.
Yeah, there was some concerns about some spies within their organizations, and I think we were handling it.
Mhm.
Fair. Well, now you know. I think it's best if we keep our relationship under the table for now. For both of our organizations.
So we'll be like double agents.
No, I think we're just more like secret allies.
I want to get to the bottom of whatever's down there. I think that whatever is actually happening with this, I still think that we were meant to solve it. You just happen to be carrying that.
All right.
But I'm willing to believe that maybe we were meant to solve it together.
That's how we were so successful in the wastes of Xhorhas.
That was actually such a fun time together.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. I enjoyed the camping. It was fun. Plus, the scores were really good. It would have been better with marshmallows, though.
Oh.
Still,
we'll bring marshmallows next
was good. Crunchy.
We'll bring marshmallows next time.
We'll just have to do it again, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Fine then. Technically, we ended with a draw down there. So the most important thing right now is who's paying for this meal. I'm willing to duel for it.
Russell?
I was going to do rock, paper, scissors, but I mean...
Zenada's just going to throw enough money on the table. Just like, fuck it, whatever, I don't care.
I
mean, you guys can still arm wrestle if you want to. I'm going to bed. Good fight.
Right. See you at Bodhi's at first light tomorrow. Don't be later. At 8th bell, we'll go without you.
All right.
She's going to shoot a look across the table. Although I have a feeling that Urban's going to be able to make sure that you'll make it all.
Oh, thanks, Urban. That's really nice.
Gives you a thumbs up with his one good hand. No, he gives...
Wait, where's... I was gonna say, where's his other hand right now?
Robot thumb. I love it.
It's in the Netherdeep. I don't want to get ahead of myself. All right. And with that, the money's thrown on the table. What do you all... Oh, I killed Chris. Sorry.
You killed Chris. Chris muted, and then you could hear Chris laughing through Caitlan. And
I know, so I had to
that. And it's so good.
Well, who hasn't spent some time in the Netherdeep under the table at a family gathering? Sabina.
And Christa, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, Robin's putting
gracious.
her hand up. Keiko, maybe not. But,
Kaeko probably.
You know.
Keiko, no.
Keiko, probably.
Keiko, no. Keiko, yes.
They go, oh ho ho ho.
Oh. All right, so with that, you head out into Ankarel and start wrapping up some loose ends. What scenes do y'all want to get up to?
I don't think there's really anything for me particularly. I'm happy to help with anybody else's though.
Okay. Does anybody have anything in mind that they'd like to do besides just go get some rest?
This can either
I
be
would like to talk to Xarria or Zenada.
Okay.
But I'm gonna like wait till everyone's like gone to bed or at least like gone to their respective places, wherever they're spending the night. I'm waiting till that happens.
So you can go do your own side scenes right now. There's also that Jamil at the Cobalt Soul does owe you money for going and rooting out the traitor. And the Allegiance of Allsight, the Allegiance of Allsight offered to pay you for that. And then Jamil told you to go speak with Lemley Wist, or not Lemley Wist, speak with Inside Alcoere and make some inroads there. And you have exceeded his expectations. So you actually have a couple of people you go collect money from.
Oh, I forgot that we actually got money for doing that, Shish.
Well,
Party loot will be
Dorlen,
good.
he's gonna forget completely and start thinking about things and probably go to sleep because he's tired. Oh, after showing Irvin where his room is, so he can make sure to be woken up in the morning.
Thanks, buddy. I really appreciate it. I'm assuming you're dragging Irvin along with you, Xarria?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, she wanted to talk to him one more time before they all split up.
That sounds good. So what we'll do you want to go to the Allegiance of Allsight? Do you just want to have them owe you? Like, what do you guys want to do with that?
Sabina will offer to go if someone reminds her that that's a thing. If everyone else is doing things, she probably will want to go for a walk first.
Yeah, let's do it.
Anyone else wants to go?
Okay.
Yeah. We can all. Whoever wants to go can go. I know 2 people have people they want to go see.
Sure.
The 3 of us probably don't really.
So Dorlen and Sabina, you were 2 of the 3 who were there getting the secondary job from the Allegiance of Allsight anyway. So it's actually a pretty easy travel getting back to the Allegiance of Allsight, returning to the chateau. Inside of there,
We'll probably tag along behind the 2 short ones as their looming muscle.
Buddy system, come on.
you'll once again be able to meet.
One day.
You'll once again be able to meet with Headmaster Alakritos, who of course was the short goblin-y one you actually liked. And as you're sitting in the back office there, he pours you each some nice spicy tea. So Limley West, huh?
Very much so.
Now,
Well, Whist and what was the one that attacked us?
that
God, blah blah blah.
yeah, that is how you
Yes.
pronounce her name. Yes.
Galeocadra.
Yeah, I was just gonna
Galeocadra.
say Galeocadra.
Galeocadra, we're in this thing together, huh?
Cahoots, I tell you.
Mm-hmm.
They were, they don't think Galeocadra made it. Well, actually, Lewis didn't make it either. But got quite aggressive with us.
All right. Well, a deal's a deal. Here. He'll hand over 1,000 gold pieces as promised. If you're all still in the city in a week, I might be able to hire you for something else.
We might be back. We have to go back down tomorrow.
Yeah? What's going on in Gaelmoro, if you don't mind me asking?
Treasure hunting. There was an aboleth.
Wow.
So now I was gonna very gently kick the back of Dorland's chair.
Oh,
There were some more areas that we wanted to recover some stuff for Professor Insight.
Look, just be careful down there. The center of Kael Morrow's got that big rift. Okay? You don't want to go anywhere near it. Whatever's inside of that should stay there. Some things from before the calamity, some things from the calamity should stay that way. They should stay sealed. Okay? I know that your friend's got that vestige, and she probably feels like she could do anything. And you probably agree with her. You're probably good friends like that, but be careful. Let's just stay away from there, okay? In the meanwhile, though, thanks for your hard work and for rooting out that trouble. I do appreciate it.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Of course. Now, I've got another meeting, but feel free to stick around, enjoy the lounge for a little bit, and finish your tea. Once again, I do appreciate it. If you're in the market for more work, I do have some research work and maybe some acquisitions stuff coming up.
Oh, what kind of research?
I'll tell you in a week, okay? But it's interesting. Archaeological, related to Kael Morrow, but not exactly Kael Morrow. So it's a little drier. All right. Best of luck to you, okay? And thanks again for...
Good doing business with you, sir.
Yeah, it is good, eh? He'll smile and give you a pat on the back as he rises to his full, not very... well, I guess compared to you, it's about the same height. And he'll waddle out of the room, leaving you to finish your tea in the lounge. Do you sit and enjoy it and just kind of like take a break for a few minutes? Or do you head out immediately?
I think Sabina will drink her tea quickly and pick the... Or honestly, she probably has barely even touched the tea. She'll probably take a sip to be polite and then grab the bag of gold. Should we head back?
Oh, sure. Dorlen will try and down the tea.
Okay.
Ooh, hot
Spicy.
It's definitely like a double spiced chai. And as you drink that, the door is going to open real quick. Just and looking behind you, you're going to see that Headmaster Cryon is going to be standing there. The one who was very rude to you, Sabina. The half-elf kind of looms over you.
And apologized.
He did apologize. I see you are enjoying our hospitality.
This is quite a nice tea.
Good. Well, he will turn and you'll hear a sound of a clicking at the lock. Thank you for rooting out the double agent. You've already met with Headmaster Alikrotos. He peers out. There's a little curtain in front of the window at the door, and he'll peer out of it. Can I get an insight roll off of both of you?
I'm not even insight roll. I'm pulling my weapon. Sabina is drawing her bow. Like, she's pulling it off her shoulder and watching him and pulling an arrow.
Big roller for Dorlen. I got a 12.
A 12? Okay.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20? Okay. He sure slid in here the moment the other headmaster left, and is looking out the window the moment he says his name. I'm glad that I still caught you inside of here. Ugh. He turns and sees the bow with an arrow already kind of like half cocked or half knocked.
Just knocked. Like, nothing's drawn. It's not held up. It's just like held down, pointed, but knocked.
There's no need for that. Just need to speak with you quickly. You've been very useful to the Legions of Allsight, and I'm hoping that I can hire you for another mission. The other headmaster disagrees with me on this, but I know what is right for the Legions of Allsight. Moreover, I know the survival of the Allegiance depends on the success of this mission, and I have none inside of the Legions of Allsight that are quite as capable as you. Unfortunately, going to outside contractors is the only way that I can go about this.
Zenada will just kind of lean forward and brace on her knees a bit, and we're listening.
The consortium has already begun to investigate the rift. They have sent their agents down into it. Whether or not they've passed through it, I am uncertain, but we must know what is on the other side. There is a source of power inside of there that could be pivotal in not only protecting the world and Ank'Harel, but managing to finally fend off the consortium and the Sentinels of Memory.
So you want us to go
what
into
do
the
you
rift?
need to do?
I want you to open the rift, and I want you to enter it and confirm that ruidium can be found inside of it and that it is a viable source of the stuff.
Why?
Because it's good to know what your enemies have in their pocket.
All right. You want us to go in?
I want you to scout it.
All right.
I want
Scout
you to
and report, I'm assuming?
on what... Yes, to report on what lies beyond. Should you
All
do
right.
so? I would be happy to provide 1,000 pieces of gold for your report on what lies beyond the rift.
All right.
Good.
Zenada will just kind of, with her toes, tap the other two and just kind of try and indicate, quiet.
Dorlen will look at his toes.
What are you going to do with this information? Looks kind of sheepishly up at Zenada.
Make certain that the allegiance of all sight does not fall to our enemies.
All right.
We have much that needs defending.
If we're able to, we will provide you with that report for payment.
Maybe we'll even make a map.
All
Zenada's going to tap Dorlen again and give him the indication of shut up.
A map would be quite helpful, and I would be very appreciative. However, if you I ask for your discretion. Part of the 1,000 payment, you will not breathe a word of this to anyone aside from your adventuring party. Especially not to the other headmaster.
Okay.
Agreed? Good.
Payment upon receipt of the report?
Payment upon receipt. As I assure you that we are good for it. He gestures at the bag of gold on Sabina's person.
So it's
That has an allegiance of all sight stamp on it.
situation.
Well, if we're able to do so, we'll bring that back to you.
Good. Well,
Have a good day. I think we need to go rest and get the rest of our party.
yes, do whatever you need. Well met. Good agreement. He'll turn, unlock the door, peer his head out, look both ways, and vanish.
Zenada's just gonna mime quiet to the other two. Let's leave, and we can inform the others. And once we're out, she's gonna kind of go, if we don't do it, we don't do it. I don't care, but we might as well get payment if we feel like taking it back to the dude.
Okay, but why were we going to kill him? That's what I
That was
didn't
me
understand.
telling you to shut up, Dorlen.
Shut up. That's like, no, shut up is like,
That's way too many actions.
but this is
If I
Dad.
nudge you and go like this, it means stop.
Stop. Stop.
Yes.
Okay, you're gonna have to teach me this sign language that you.
If we want to kill somebody, I'll start killing them.
That's what I thought.
I'm not gonna mime it at you. I'm just gonna do it.
Well, Sabina had her bow out, and you were like.
Well, from what I heard from the last time,
Nick,
he was insulting to Sabina last time. So
it wasn't why. Just
tend to hold a bit of a grudge from what I've been noticing. I mean, fair. Rude is rude. But this way, we heard what he wanted to say. We now have something we can tell if we want to. Because we did not promise silence except on receipt of payment. And he hasn't paid us.
That was clever.
That's why I was telling you to shut up. I think that's the only thing, Dorlen.
Okay.
You're very smart. You are very smart. You tell people too much, though.
Well, I just want. Yeah, no.
he is a professor. He just wants to share knowledge.
One day you need to get back into professoring. And then you can talk however much you want. Though I feel like there's a certain line where, depending on how old the people are you're teaching, there's certain things that you shouldn't be sharing. So you might still have to not talk sometimes.
It depends. Like, I kind of feel like it's not right that my brother is impersonating me, but I kind of feel like this is a better life out here with you all, like getting to experiment with my ideas in practical situations. And
The two are not mutually exclusive. Just because you...
Yeah, there's research grants.
Well, just because you expose him doesn't mean that you have to do that. You can still be an adventurer and be known as Professor Wildrock. You just don't need to teach anymore. You could be on sabbatical.
but what will people think though if they notice that I took the X off of it? Because that was for extraordinary.
I don't know that anybody will notice.
You'll just have to
just
say the whole
expand
word this time. You're an
Exactly.
extraordinary professor.
Extraordinary adventurer professor.
That might get to be too much of a
Wow.
mouthful, but you do say stuff really, really fast, so I think you'll manage.
Extraordinary professor. Wow. He'll start walking towards the thing and just kind of trying different variations of his name.
Nice.
I think if Dorlen's kind of walking ahead and is kind of like doing Dorlen's thing where he's like fully out of earshot, Sabina might kind of
Dorlen could be
Tug
beside
on-
you and not here.
this is very true. Is gonna kind of tug on Zenada's sleeve and say, Zenada, are we just doing all this for gold? Like I know Io thinks that we're heroes, but I feel like I don't know. Everyone's paying us for everything, and that's just work. It's not heroing. Heroes don't
Well,
need payment.
Yes, heroes need payment. Heroes should get paid because heroes need to exist.
Well, I lived
Just
in the
because you're
swamp for
getting
so long.
paid doesn't mean you're not being selective about what you're picking to do. You can have morals and get paid for work that you do. If you provide a service, you should be paid for it. You're doing something somebody wants you to do. You're just picking which one you want to do. And you're deciding not to do the one that clashes with your morals.
Well,
So you need to eat. And you need clothing and weapons, because I don't think you want to go around naked and with rusting weapons. So, and you want to feed Dax and groom him.
well, Dax and I
Medicine.
survived. We survived perfectly fine without any of that for many years, and I don't know. Even if we
People who don't
do
pay
have
thing tend to not value it.
I guess
It's a shitty thing, but unfortunately, it's generally true.
Well, then if we are doing it for moral reasons, even if we're getting paid, you don't have a connection to the other group. They're just other people to you.
Yes.
Should we be working with them?
I mean, there's no reason not to.
I feel like there is. Number of them have tried to kill us on somewhat multiple occasions. One of them did kill one of our party members and your ex-best friend. And
From what I understand, that was essentially an accident.
It was an accident, and I don't really blame Irvin for it, but if that's the kind of accidents that happen around them, should we be traveling with them? Should we not just leave early and go in by ourselves?
In this case, in an unknown situation, safety in numbers. Especially if we send them off and they do their half and we do our half and we keep in touch. Sure, they could lie to us. So we might not want to be one-on-one with them. Be cautious. I don't know them. But they don't seem to 100% agree with the whole Ruidium getting out into public. They're aware of the corruptive nature of it. They just didn't feel they had an option to be paid, because most people need to be paid in order to eat. All comfortably.
Problem with these cities, everything requires money. I mean, I can in the swamps I can just find food and shelter and be perfectly fine, but
one swamp generally won't support as many people as in their city.
I suppose. Well,
and that's one thing most species love to do, is reproduce.
Yes, it's terribly gross.
I bet even Dax likes to. Have you got the option? Litter of kitties? Kittens? Dax kittens? Surely you would want a Dax kitten.
I had Dax as a kitten, and he was a right mouthful. Handful.
I can believe
Kinda
it.
gives you a look.
Zenada will, as she says, like, I can believe it, she'll slip him some fish jerky.
And he's gonna mouth that, and at that, Dorlen's standing at a crossroads. One arrow is pointing to like the Suncut Bazaar area. The other is pointing to the I believe it's in the Sigil District. Let me just double check that.
Which way is the Sigil District?
I thought Allsight was in the Sigil District.
The Allsight is in Sigil. Yeah, you're right. So let me just double check.
Dorlen will still ask, which way is the Sigil District?
Okay, the Crystal Chateau is in the Sigil District, and the... Just double checking the...
While you're checking that, Sabina will quietly say to Zenada, I trust your opinion. You're very, very smart when it comes to tactical choices. So thank you for listening.
Not a problem.
So, yeah, one arrow, so you're in the Sigil District, pardon me. One arrow points to the Sand Herald District and the Suncut Bazaar to the west, and another arrow points to the Guided District in the east. Guided District being where the Temple of Mentor is.
Which, in response to Sabina's comment, is that, well, you're smart. You just haven't had experience with it.
Thank you. Well, if we are going to keep making money for heroic purposes, we should go check with Jamil. He owes us money as well.
Excellent. All right, let's do that. But besides, if you don't use money, doesn't mean you can't put your share to other things. Like looking after other less fortunate people.
Mm-hmm.
And on cue,
Sabina will walk up behind. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
as you are as you're doing that, you will no doubt see at least half a dozen beggars on the side of the road of all races, creeds, and ages. A young tiefling boy, an elderly orc with a missing limb, his leg kind of bound around a stick, making a peg leg, begging with a coin. You know, like, people here need money. So you were walking up behind somebody?
I was gonna say, she's gonna walk up behind Dorlen and kind of like grab him by the shoulders and sort of turn him in the direction of the Cobalt Soul and continue that way.
Thank you. So yeah, like Professor might maybe adventure, sir, or no, that doesn't work. Profenter?
Or you could simply make the name of Dorlen Wildrock so well known you don't need a title.
Dorlen Wildrock, without a title.
There was a performer I know that just went as their first name.
Dorlen.
And now, yeah.
But with a name like Wildrock,
You're going to end up with some very unfortunate rhymes in bardic songs, but
I feel there already are.
probably, knowing
The
Kaeko.
Adventures of Dorlen. Dorlen and the Buddy System. Yeah, I like that one.
Zenada's just going to roll her eyes.
With that, you'll head off toward the other side of town. Now, Kaeko or Xarria? Are you traveling together or separately?
I figured we'd travel together as far as we could and then kind of break off, probably.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Keiko's gonna go off towards Booty's shop.
Sounds
So I
good.
was just going to go towards the apartment.
Sounds good. So you'll actually split off pretty quickly. Who wants to go first?
Either way.
Either way.
Okay.
Canadian standoff, here we go.
All right, here's the deal. Caitlin's even. All right, Caitlin's going to go first.
Okay.
So Caitlan, you break off in the beginning, heading your way back to the apartment. As you were doing so, if it's not, what are you doing? Just describe the walk to me.
Probably not talking about anything really, really deep. With Irvin, she hasn't let go of him yet. But just probably making idle chit chat, and then probably wanted to talk about deeper things once they got to the apartment.
Okay. So getting inside, shutting the door to the apartment. So you head inside of the apartment building, and as you do, like, Irvin's gonna look around and be like, huh, nice place.
Ta-da!
It's pretty big. Is this all for you?
This one, yeah?
Wow. We used to have a room rented at the inn attached to the casino. I mean, a couple of rooms, I guess. Maggie's got her own
yeah.
room, but
That would make sense. I think it'd be hard to fit multiple beds in there.
she takes up multiple beds.
True.
I've been mostly sleeping on the floor. I guess I'm just used to it from all the traveling. You know, being a waste walker.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Well, this bed is awfully large just for one person, so you're very welcome to stay in it tonight if you'd like.
I think I would like that very much.
Excellent. Can I get you something to drink, perhaps?
Yeah, whatever you have. I'm
I
feeling.
don't ever have much, but
Oh, we can go out and get something. I can run down to one of the bazaars, grab some liquor or something, and we could have a celebration.
I think I'd like that.
Okay, then I'll be back in a couple minutes.
Okay.
Do you have a preference? Wine, spirits, like what?
Anything you're feeling is fine.
Okay. I'll be right back. And he's going to dart out the door and jog down. He's going to be gone about 15 minutes. During that time, are you doing anything?
Yeah, she's definitely spraying on some perfume and gonna put one of those nice dresses that she got. Kind of try to wrap it in like a way that definitely shows off kind of her midriff area.
Was this one of the naughty leaf dresses?
It is actually, yes.
Ooh. So about 15 minutes later, you'll hear hey, it's me. Sorry that took a while. Is the door unlocked?
No, one moment. She'll go up and unlock it. Definitely wasn't unlocked before.
As you stand there, he's holding a few. He's got like a pretty basic like canvas bag with several bottles already inside of it. And as he takes a look at Xarria and the dress, like it almost slips out of his hand a little bit. He's like, you look great. You smell great.
Welcome back.
I feel very welcome. He'll head inside and start putting bottles on the counter. I picked up 4 things. I'm not sure. I still don't know what you'd like to drink. So I picked up a bottle of Nightfall whiskey. This is a vodka called Wild Tickle. It's it's pretty good. It's got like citrus rind in it, but it's actually pretty sweet. That is a bottle of red wine from Wonderful Walk Vineyard, and this is an avocado spirit. The girl at the counter really swore by it. I don't know. It was really expensive though. It's from a place called House and Home. I don't know.
That sounds good. Why don't we start with the wine and we'll go from there?
Yeah. You pops it. Pours a couple of glasses. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I think we have some glasses up here. She'll rummage through and grab a couple.
He's definitely gonna watch her reaching. The full elongation of the body in that, and is going to... So, what do you want to talk about?
I mean, I figured we had been traveling together, and we've known each other for a little bit now, but I don't really know much about you. Like, where did the name Den come from? That doesn't really sound like a nickname for Irvin. Just for an example.
Okay. Well, tell you what. I'm not going to give you anything for free. Let's do a drinking game out of it. Quid pro quo.
All right.
Okay. But this is pretty easy wine. So if so, it'll be truth or cup. Truth or glass? I don't know. Whatever we say.
Okay.
So he'll pour you drinks. Is that your first question for me? I'll go first. Ladies' first question.
Sure.
I was consecrated at a Luxon beacon in my last life. I used to be I remember being a hobgoblin named Den. And yeah, it Den Hyphanos. I died in a really stupid way, and when I got my memories back, I was Irvin Wastewalker, and I guess that's why I went to Asarius. It just felt more like home.
I see.
Xarria Rainn. Is there anything fancy about your name that I should know?
Fancy about my name?
Is it about raining blood?
It is not. Rainn is actually a middle name.
Oh. I'm going to consider this part of my question then. What's your name?
So Kelly, was it Rexentrum?
I believe so.
Did we figure?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe it was, yes. I can double check my notes. 1 sec.
Okay.
Rudium scraps. Corrupt. Nope. So that was episode 23, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, that's the horribly naughty episode. Oh, Sabrina's parents. It is Rexentrum, yes.
Okay.
With 2 X's.
Yeah. Yep. It's Xarria, Rainn, Rexentrum, actually. Seems like we're both going for a strong start with our questions.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay. I feel like I used my question all the way that I can without cheating. So, go ahead.
All right, then. So you prefer Den, then?
Is that the question?
The question, kind of. Do you feel like you would prefer to be referred to as Den, then?
No. You're the only person I've ever told that name to.
Oh.
I like it when you say it. I like it when you say Irvin, too. I guess I'm still trying to figure out who I am in this whole cosmic balance thing, but I like sharing that part of me with you.
Well, I feel honored that you share it with me, so thank you.
So why don't you use your last name? Is it just like a style thing, or because it's honestly a mouthful?
It is. Yes, well, for a little while, for quite a while actually in my life, I didn't know about it. So it feels odd to say.
Mm-hmm.
And it's from my family who abandoned me when I was born, and it doesn't really hold very many good memories for me. I still haven't gone back to see the medal. They tried to reach out, and that's when I found out, but
Okay. Huh. All right. Your turn.
Did you still keep the raven necklace that I gave you?
Let me double check. 1 sec. Boop, boop, boop. I did. I lost it with my arm. I tried to get it out of the Bloodfin's mouth after they brought me back, but it was... I got part of the chain back.
Oh, don't worry about it.
It did really matter to me.
Well, I'm glad. I didn't want you to think I abandoned you. I know how hard that can... I know how that feels, so...
I didn't have a doubt. Okay, my turn.
Yep.
What do you want to do when this is all over? When we conquer the Netherdeep, what are you going to do?
What am I going to do? You know, I've never been a person who really thinks much outside the next few days, you know? I don't really make grand plans. All I was thinking about was the mission. I'm gonna go retire and live a happy life. No, I have no idea. Probably continue to be an adventurer, continue to help people, continue to heal people.
That's not a bad thing. I do it too, but I don't know. I'm getting more nervous. The arm thing, like this scared the hell out of me. I already died once, and being this far away from a Luxon beacon, honestly, I feel like an asshole about the whole thing, because, yeah, I've only got one life now, but I mean, so does everybody else. I'm not, I don't know, I'm all strung up because I'm not special anymore. Fuck you, Irvin. Right?
I mean, I plan to. But there are worse things than death, is what I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. There were a couple of times down in Kelmoro where I thought that Io or it was one time Dermot damn near got themselves killed, and I would have been absolutely fine going in that moment. Like, I was scared, but like then it's instinctive, right? Like, you just want to throw yourself in front of stuff. I guess I have it's so dumb to be afraid of things, to be afraid of dying, and then to throw myself in front of a monster.
I think it's very brave.
It's very stupid, but thank you. Thank you. It can be both.
I can be both at the same time. Why not both?
I'm happy to be both. Okay. Sorry. What's your question?
Oh, right. It's my turn again. But you said you were scared.
Yeah.
A bit. But what do you want to do after this, then? I'll turn your question right back on you.
Well, I want to, Xarria, can you do me a favor? Can you make me a history roll?
Okay. Oh, nope.
Nope.
5? Yep, 5.
Okay, well, so I know my family probably thinks that I'm alive. My old family probably thinks I'm alive, right? And the Hyphenos family, like you don't know who they are, do you?
I wasn't raised under a rock, but I'm not the most knowledgeable person about the history of the area.
They're a really big deal, really powerful. And I wanted to go out, and when Io came to Jagao, we met on the trail, and I mean, I wanted to do great things without my family, but at the same point, I kind of want to go back and see them again. Be useful to them. It was the absolute worst being a waste walker. You know, like, I never really felt like I felt like I belonged, and I act way more like a bugbear than a human a lot of the time. I definitely party hard enough.
I can see that.
Just like the hair, it's patchy. Like I'm
filling out, though.
Yeah, it is, and I'm filling out. I am so scrawny. I remember what it's like to be big. It feels, I don't know. I wish I could be more like I remember. you know?
Mhm.
So I guess I want to improve myself, and I want to help my family, and I want to see what I can make of myself. It's funny. It's completely changed. When I met up with Io and the rest of the crew on the road, oh, this is embarrassing. This is a freebie.
I wasn't going to say anything.
You know why I tagged along?
Mm.
Because I thought Xarria was cute.
He's very attractive.
He is, but he's just... I'm really worried about him. For a while there, he's a really mysterious and good-looking sort, and really attractive, but between us, I mean, Io had a thing for him too. I think she still does, but I don't know. Feels so drained, you know? I guess I'd like to help him too. But I mean, I still think he's pretty hot, but I kind of got over that when I met you.
Aw. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's my question, actually.
I think it is.
Do you actually like me?
I do. I do like you. I like you more than I've ever liked anyone else. And I've never, in my life, I've never had another moment where I didn't want someone else. I consciously didn't want someone else to feel abandoned. So I've never given anybody else a token or anything. I actually even wrote you a little stupid letter when I couldn't see you.
You wrote me a letter?
Yes.
I can't ask what it would say because that's a different question. Damn it! We're coming back around. We're coming back around to that. Okay. Okay. Your turn.
I think that was a very good question, Dan. Do you like me?
He looks at his cup of wine. Finishes it. How about I show you? And
I like that very much.
We'll offer a hand down to her. And we'll lead you off to your room.
Perfect.
And I think we can fade to black on that one. And I think that and there goes Christa. And I think that's where we're going to fade to black. We'll be right back after this break, so folks don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome back to Call of the Netherdeep, here on Dork Tales. As we fade to black on Xarria's scene, we cut across the city to where Kaeko has made her way down to Bodhi's shop there in the Suncut Bazaar. it's bustling and busy, and getting near to kind of the slow period of the afternoon at all the other shops. But Bodhi's shop is quite busy. There are people moving in and out. The place is flooded. A number of workers that he's hired, mostly very hardworking halflings, are moving around the shop, making sure that no one is shoplifting. All in all, looks like there's probably about 15 people in his small shop. And as you enter, a little bell will jangle over the door, which is weird. There's no door. It's just, as you enter, this bell will animately go jingle, jingle, jingle. I'll be with you in just a second. Terrence, go and see. Darling!
Hello.
He holds up a finger for 1 second. And that's what I have to say, that if you're going to buy diamonds, make sure that, look, I know you follow the Raven Queen, and blood diamonds are very effective, but they do have a karmic cost. That said, if you're trying to do necromancy, very top-notch. Just know what you're getting into. Philippa here will help you. She's an expert, much more versed in diamonds than me. I'm just the face of the operation.
Hey, what about me?
Philippa, you're quite beautiful as well, but unfortunately, I'm being called away by other beauty. And he will gesture to the back room for you.
Perfect. Kaeko is going to making her way down shop, moving fast, faces past, and she's Bodhi bound.
Yeah. He heads into the back room, that little, 10 by 5 room. Oh, sweet cakes? What's going on? Where's everybody else?
We're taking a bit of a... We've all split up for a little bit, and we're going to meet up tomorrow to go do some stuff. So I have an evening free. I was wondering if you wanted to go for early dinner, late lunch. I haven't really had food much today, so I was wondering if you could get off work early.
One moment, please. He gives you a look up and down. You're doing something stupid, aren't you? Tomorrow. You've got that look about you. Something dangerous.
Yes.
You feel like falafel, pita? He'll open the door. Philippa, I've got to go out and do some orders. Do you mind taking over?
I've got it. Go have fun.
I didn't know my nickname was Orders now, but...
Well, I take whatever orders you're giving me, my love. Philippa's quite good. She'll take care of things.
Are you sure? I don't want to take you... It's quite thriving. You're doing very well. I'm very impressed.
Have a good... Look, I am an excellent judge of character. I hire the right people, and they do a great job. I know people I can trust when I see them.
That is very true.
Let's go get some food in you. You're gonna need your strength tomorrow.
Getting my strength tonight.
I would like it if you got a little bit of sleep at least.
No, of course, my love. Getting better at not needing, full night's rest anymore,
No, you're getting older, starting to see some crow's feet.
Oh, rude there, sir. I was going to say, I'm practicing for the future of not having much sleep for nights, but I guess I'm turning old and barren then.
Yeah. I was gonna... Let's get some food.
All right.
What kind of food are you feeling like?
I think Kaiko's gonna go for, like curry, if they have that
Curry?
here.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, out the wazoo. Which is what happens if you eat too much of it, because it's very spicy.
It's true.
It's true. So you head to a little cafe on the edge of town called Nutmegs. And as you are sitting there and eating, kind of like sitting on the floor, more or less, it's these finely woven cushions, draperies everywhere, all that are infused with the scent of curries and brilliant spices and bright flavors everywhere. There are people of all types around you, a halfling family eating about 10 feet away from you, a mother, father, and about 7 kids eating around a table, halfling style, sharing big portions, passing around bowls, family style. Nearby, you see this lovely pair of orcs sitting next to each other. One of them is cooing to her girlfriend about this new tattoo that she got and how excited she is and how it just like makes the green of her skin just pop with this like beautiful black and white inlay design that's been hammered into it. And how they managed to get like a really good white tattoo, it's an orcish secret, we'll say. And I think they would master that, like real solid. There's got to be some type of magical pigment that really makes that pop, you know?
And I'm sure orcs would do it. They're very much like especially with their skin, like they'd want something that's great for
yeah,
color.
cool, because it'd be either that or like branding, but that's got connotations for a lot of races, so you know, probably wouldn't.
Yeah,
be doing
yeah.
So as your curry comes, how spicy did you get it?
Kaeko probably got it hot. She likes it hot.
Fair. Bodhi got his in an 11.
Oh. Yeah, he gets tiefling.
He's generally immune to spice as a tiefling.
Mm-hmm.
It's a side effect.
Yes.
So as you're sitting eating, so is it good? You got the goat, right?
Yes, the goat. What did you get?
I got chicken. You can't go wrong with chicken. I was really surprised that they had shellfish on the menu, though. I don't trust it. We're in a fucking desert.
Yeah, that's quite a ways away. They must have some magical spell to keep it cool.
Yes. Maybe it was hellfish. Nope, shellfish. Still has the S.
Hellfish, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, it'd be spicy, right? Or it'd be really bland. You have to put a bunch of pepper on it.
Or dry in your mouth. Yes, and it's really nice to be able to spend this afternoon and evening with you. We haven't had a lot of it since we started this, and it's been very time consuming, and
I've been very time consuming.
No, this adventuring that we're doing, saving Alexian and all that, has been time consuming. You are not time consuming.
My wife pining over another man, spending all of her time following his wants and desires, and I'd be jealous if it wasn't so.
Lightly punch him on the shoulder, and I'm gonna lasso my mic with my gauntlets.
Yeah, you are. Be careful, I'm fragile.
They're not that fragile. I've had practice.
Yeah.
We're going somewhere that I'm not going to lie to you, Bodhi, because I've not lied to you the day since we've met. It's dangerous. Very dangerous. And to get in there, we have to have these weapons that have the possibility of affecting the mood of a person. And I'm just a bit worried. I might be a little different when I get back, but I want you to not give up on me when I do.
I would never give up on you. I love you. Crow's feet and all.
I love you too. Witty, sharp tongue and all.
Excuse me, what?
Witty, sharp tongue and all.
Ah, witty, sharp tongue. Oh, yes. Well, you've never complained before, etc., etc. Feels weird without the rest of them there to kind of play up.
Right, I'm looking for Sabina's reaction, honestly.
I
That's
know. Oh
Give me a
no,
hug.
he's talking about his tongue.
Yay! I know, it's quite good, but I do enjoy
Yeah.
just us around too.
I know, it just feels weird. We never get to spend any time together with just us, and
I know.
I mean, I feel like I can tell you everything, but I feel like I've already said it.
I know, me
I've
too.
told you, I've told you, screamed and cried, I love you. You believe me, right? You know it's true.
Yeah, of course.
Good. Good. You'd be absolutely wrong if you thought anything else.
And I fully intend on coming back, just to let you know.
Good. Back at the shop, I was able to parlay a wine today.
Oh, lovely.
Yes. 2,292 gold pieces for those 2 bottles of wine.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You're taking a commission cut, right?
I am. I'll round it up to give you the full 2,000 though.
Yes.
I'll take my 10%. That's what I wanted to talk to you about. The shop is a hit.
Yes. That is amazing. I saw when I was walking up, I think you're the busiest shop on the block.
We are. And I've been grooming Philippa for quite a while actually. And from before I even got here, we've been doing sending stone calls and all of that, and just setting up the entire operation. She was heavily recommended by Gilmore to begin with. And seeing as this is a franchise,
Yes.
I wanted to talk to you about we talked about it before, but when you get back, the place is established. I'd like to give it another couple of months to make sure that its quality control standards are set. But I've already been in talks, and okay.
I was planning on this being the last adventure, if that's what you're
Good.
going to ask for. I want...
You want?
I want to be around with you more, and I want to help you set up shops, and I want to... She will
Well-
glance over to the table with the kids.
Yes, absolutely. It's well, I was going to say that. It feels so weird. It just being you and I in a room. So, my plan is that you get back. You survive.
Yes.
You don't get too disfigured.
I'm hoping not.
Good. I mean, we can get it fixed. It's not a big deal. You come back, and we give it a few months. And then we book an airship ride back to Zorhaus. We open an actual, not just a bodega, but a full shop. In Asarius.
Yes.
And you let me put some babies in you.
I fully.
We've been practicing for quite a while. I mean, we might as well actually get it right.
Right? And
I feel like an absolute failure at this point.
It's fine. We've been purposely failing on purpose.
Yes,
but
I know.
yes, it might be
been-
good to try for real. Yes.
It's just that things are finally working, and I feel like, I mean, you've been fighting.
Yeah. I
You've
was
been
gonna say
fighting
that.
monsters, but
And it absolutely breaks my heart every time I have to go away from you and know that I'm potentially putting myself at risk and realizing now that I'm not just going to take, myself off the earth and it's going to be, friends and stuff, but my actual life partner's gonna have to deal with that, and I don't want to bring you any sort of pain. So
I would be absolutely
unless you ask for it.
Huh. Well. Anyway. You sure you'd be okay with that? Leaving the rest of them behind?
Yeah. They're quite capable.
I mean, they're more than welcome to work for the shop, do some acquisitions.
Yes, I'm sure we could potentially.
I would love to
I may have to. We may have to put a little pause once we're done this because we do have to go kick the shit out of Dorlen's brother, who's been disguising himself as Dorlen and teaching as a professor.
Oh, what a little shit!
Right, so I do have to do that, but after that, I'll come back and settle down.
It's fine.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. But,
Yes, our first duo ass kicking. Yes.
Yeah. Well, survive fighting monsters, and we'll make some of our own, and then maybe you'll be trained enough to handle them.
Yeah.
God knows I won't be.
Yes, you're going to. It's going to be a challenge for sure. Do you think so we have to use these weird corrupted weapons. I really don't want to get Bodhi hurt. Would you mind looking after him?
What? Oh.
My guitar.
Your guitar.
Bodhi. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot about that.
It's one of my most prized possessions, and
I know,
I
because you like to
want...
pluck it, but you like to, yeah. My love, my life. It would be my honor. He holds out his hands for the guitar.
She'll take it out. She'll put on the blade guards on it like figure skates so he doesn't cut himself. Because Kaeko doesn't give a shit. She knows her acts like it's nothing, so she doesn't have to worry about things. So she'll give it to him. I want that back. So I'll come get it. So don't worry. I'll be back for it. But yes, I would really like to spend some quality time with you tonight.
I don't think we have to worry about that. So long as this curry doesn't cause problems anyway.
I thought you were a tiefling. I thought you could handle spice.
Yeah, but it's got onions in it, and there's just sometimes, you know how onions sometimes they make me a little bloaty, and you know, you don't want to be bloaty Bodhi, you know. That's what you always say.
You're never bloaty Bodhi.
I am sometimes bloaty Bodhi. There was that time in. No, never mind. What do you say we get a nice big fucking bottle of port?
Mm.
Head back to your apartment.
Yes.
And if you're done after this, why don't we say fuck the damage deposit? Let's get you evicted, love.
Ah, that sounds wonderful, my love. Poor
Check, please.
Sabina.
All right. Penny calls for the check, and you go back and have a probably, I'm assuming, a surprisingly good but sweet night. Surprisingly sweet.
Yes.
All right. And at that point, we will fade to black, and we will cross town over to where the rest of you are making your way into the Temple of the Mentor. It's not too long before Sabina, Dorlen, and Zenada find themselves brought in to one of the conference rooms, where before long they will be visited by Jamil. Jamil will enter with a quick thank you to the doorman on duty, and will go and take a seat at the head of the table opposite the three of you. So, how did it go with Insight? Good?
Well, Insight's quite lovely. Oh, wait. I'll look over at Zenada. Is this one of those moments?
Well, as far as I'm aware, Dorlen, we're not trying to negotiate a job currently, so...
Insight was quite lovely. She's always nice to talk to. Has some great ideas. Probably doesn't get paid enough.
So tell me what happened. I would like to know everything.
Oh boy. Everything.
Can we recap the details?
You can recap the details. Is there anything you're leaving out?
I can't remember what this was in relation to anymore.
So he hired you to go find, to work with to basically to forge an allegiance with the Allegiance of Allsight, and to get Insight's help to get to the Netherdeep.
Okay.
Yep.
I think that went successfully.
So did you tell him that about the aboleth?
I was gonna say, do we say there was an aboleth, but we don't talk about Elixion? I don't know how much I can't remember how much we've told him.
He knows about the Apollyon.
Unless somebody stops him, Dorlen's going to talk about everything down to the, and they've got these fascinating materials. They are like little boxes that they use, and I think they work on this kind of a principle. And I was talking to Insight again about, and just go on the details of the very irrelevant details on how
I would say everything except the rivals, probably.
Okay. You do mention that the aboleth was there and did die, or was killed by something?
Yeah, we'll say it was killed by something, and its children cried out in pain. But yeah, other than and we'll probably reference that we think he has taken on some of Elixion's psychic energy and was taking on part of his personality. So we are right that he is there.
So, were you the ones that killed it?
No, we think it was someone working with Galeocadra.
Well, it seems that you have gone above and beyond, forging an alliance with the Allegiance of Allsight. I want to help support your efforts further. In doing so, I promised you 1,000 gold. For your efforts, I'm going to double it. And on the way out, you should head down to Ivo Zalare. He will provide you with the 2,000 gold coins. That being said, now that the route to the Netherdeep has been secured now, this has definitely stepped up some plans, some thoughts that I'd had. If you are headed back down there. Well, let's make a deal then. I believe that our interests continue to align. And that you have the same goals that we do. If what you say is true, some of our reports have said that the consortium and the consortium of the Vermilion Dream and the Allegiance of Allsight have begun stockpiling as well. And you say that you have evidence that this is true. At this point, if the flow of iridium out of the Netherdeep is not cut off immediately, things will be disastrous. I have heard reports that the consortium has sent a group of skilled adventurers into the Netherdeep and to Galmora. I imagine this is what probably killed the Aboleth. I also know that, according to research that we've been able to pull from some of our agents, the underwater pressure of the Netherdeep requires an item to at least be partially made of iridium to be present on the person. However, it is my theory that your friend Xarria's pendant should be enough to protect her.
We had done, Dorlen had done some research, and we think that might not be true.
Potentially. If you have any other options, I suppose that it would be a good thing.
Better safe than sorry. I do lots of research, so it's good to have a backup plan.
Do you have any means
research.
of providing us with additional ruidium?
Unfortunately, no. The short sword that you provided us was destroyed. We've done our best to destroy every bit of ruidium. I'm not a superstitious man by nature. I know that everything that Ruidus touches is cursed in one way or another. With a name like Ruidium, I cannot help that the red glow of the stuff is somehow connected to that cursed moon. I believe, though, Miss Moorden, that should you press into the Netherdeep, we could find a way to remove that from you. Without losing the arm, for example.
Are part of your plans destroying all the ruidium that is in the Netherdeep, or are you, like the Allegiance, just trying to stop the consortium from getting it?
My plans go a bit bigger than that. I want to hire you for one last mission. I want you to find a way to destroy the Netherdeep. And all of the ruidium with it.
But we don't even know how big it is.
I assume it's a demi-plane. It's a plane beyond our own. There must be some way to destabilize it from within.
In our initial visions of Elixion, he was concerned that the ruidium was being taken and it's what was keeping him alive. Are we to save the Apotheon, or is he to be destroyed with it?
I would... I understand. I understand this difficulty. I believe that the Apotheon's life is critical. the man is a savior and a hero for all of Marquette, if the legends are true. But if his continued existence would lead to what the Consortium and Allegiance will proliferate, it will be like he never was. Like he never did save Marquette from the one-eyed one. That said, if I would not ask that you leave a man to die. I ask you to try to do both then. Save the hero, destroy the evil. I cannot provide you a reward worthy of this task. I can offer you a payment of about there are 5 of you, of 10,000 gold pieces, 2,000 per head. I have to hope that that will suffice. But you will also have my gratitude, and the gratitude of the Cobalt Soul, for as long as you live. The gratitude of multitudes who will never know the task that you have done for them.
I think we should probably go get our rest now.
I think so as well. I can't tell you what to do, but I wish you the best, and I hope that you're able to do this. And I do mean it. If there's a way to save both our world and the Apotheon, by all means take it. But if it comes down to a choice between the two, I feel I know what the Apotheon would have chosen all those years ago. But I suppose it's easy in retrospect to have those type of valorous sentiments.
Or easy when it's not your own life.
Exactly. So the best I can do is just ask that you do the best for us that you can. Thank you for your work up to this point, for your candor and for your bravery. It could not have been easy.
He's handed us a bag of gold from.
He's told you to go pick it up from the reading desk. Iwo Zalari, right. the orc, is going to have it, so you can leave it any time.
We should go speak to Iwo then.
Good. Take care. Go with the mentor. And
Question.
Yes.
Listening to all this quietly, kind of like sitting back and letting Sabina handle it. Can I insight, or can I just like get a sense of like how sincere he seems
you
about
may
this?
Give me an insight check.
Cool. That is going to be a dirty 20.
I rolled a nat one on deception. If that was the thing, 100%.
Okay.
100%.
Cool.
He does not want this. And when it was asked if he could be provided with ruidium, he did a kind of like a slight wince, like, "Ooh, that would have been smart. That would have been smart if we hadn't just destroyed it." Type of look, like, yeah, that would have been good. But at the end of the day, we feel good about our decision to break the stuff. No, you think that he is absolutely
That's good. It's nice to have somebody be very straightforward and honest and sincere with us.
Yeah, no, Jamil's actually a pretty good dude at the
Very
end of the day.
stand up.
Very stand up, very good looking. Very good looking, if that's something you're into.
I mean,
I'll
that's
give
something that I was always into.
One sec, I'll give you an example, if I can find his page. He
I'm
at...
sensing another date night.
I mean, a very honorable, smart fellow.
And
Could
rich.
do worse. Ooh, rich too, even better.
Right.
And powerful.
And powerful. Oh yeah. So he is a 29-year-old human, Jamil Olalathia. Yeah.
Nice.
He's
Ooh,
even got your
Yeah.
fashion.
very dashing.
Very nice.
Vroom. Yeah, he's quite attractive. Yeah. So he's the head of the Marquesian branch of the Cobalt Soul, anyway. He's the High Curator. And he kind of looks like... Who does he look like? I don't know. He looks handsome. He kind of look... He look... Yeah. He's handsome. He's handsome.
Should we go? We'll go talk to Iwo then.
You find your way downstairs, giving Jamil your goodbyes. And the High Curator sends you on your way. You head downstairs, and Iwo is sitting behind the desk, a pair of small round spectacles on the tip of his nose as he's reading. And as you come up, he will look at you and go, fold them up and put them in his pocket. Congratulations on a job well done.
Thank you.
Here is the return of your library dues, and he will set a giant bag of platinum coins on the table.
Jesus.
200 platinum coins in there.
Thank you kindly.
We had
It was
library
such a
dues?
chore to gather up all those books.
Yes, well, I wish you...
I think my memory's missing.
Dorlen.
Maybe Wisp got to me.
Dorlen.
luckily, you're in a temple of
Dorlen.
memory.
Dorlen.
Yes?
It's code words.
Oh, like our Uncle Bard Destiny.
I heard that you're actually
Not
going,
quite as obvious as that, but yes.
You're going to go visit your Uncle Bard Destiny, I understand, and have a bit of a house rager. Perhaps taking the place, getting him a new home. The old one's being demolished, I hear.
It's going to be quite the outlet, right? Take a couple sledgehammers.
Hey, when I
Have a
was a
good
young
old
orc,
fun. Good
I
old
went
fun
to a
time.
couple of house-kicking parties. Put on your biggest boots, put on some thrash metal, and kick the place down. That's what I always used to do. Old abandoned
Ah,
tenements.
that'll be good.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
It has been an honor having you work alongside us. However, if I must be honest, my biggest honor has been watching you, Sabina. You've come a long way with your letters.
Thank you, Iwo.
And when you're done, I have something that I'd like to give you. If you weren't going somewhere so wet, I'd loan it to you now. So, when you come back from this, there is a book that I think you would really like.
Thank you. It's very kind of you to think of me.
It's called The Call of Xorhas. It's about a young boy who finds himself stranded in the wastes of Xorhas and ends up befriending Moorbounder.
That could have been written about Sabina.
It could have. I won't spoil the ending, but it's it's a bit of a tearjerker, but it's also very hopeful.
Does this this young boy end up meeting a dashing group of adventurers with a incredibly intelligent gnomish professor and a curate, like a wonderful bard who towers above them all, directing the flow of combat, and a mysterious priestess of a blood deity, and a fierce warrior from the desert lands.
I don't want to spoil it, but mostly just Moorbounders. But that doesn't mean that you couldn't always write a sequel. Consider that, Sabina. Once you get your
Sabina, you
letters
could write a
mastered,
sequel.
you could become a writer. All the stories you have.
You're coming along quite quickly.
Yeah, she's a very intelligent young woman.
That's what I say.
Be safe.
I will try to come home with better stories.
Good. That is required of you. Be pleased, my friends.
In this moment, nothing gets said, but I would like to explain what Zenada kind of looks like. Like, there's just a look of determination, I think, comes over her face.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the thought of, like, God damn it, Sabina's coming back for this. She's just like, nope.
I love this. I love this.
Being an author.
I love this. I love this development between Zenada and Sabina so
Zenada's just like,
much.
okay.
Oh my god.
Tiny ones must be protected.
Oh no.
Even from themselves.
Especially from themselves. God damn, both of you are awful.
He bids you
What is
farewell.
with it with tiny ones and no like self-preservation?
There's not much they're able to keep in their small lid, right?
Exactly.
So he bids you farewell after getting a couple of shushes from other people in the library. Shh. And you head back home. Is anybody doing any last things before they turn in for the night?
Nah.
I don't think so.
Okay. You head back and you rest. And you sleep. You all get a long rest in. But as you sleep, one of you has a dream. Zenada, you're standing in the wastes of Xorhas, along a trail that you remember walking hundreds of times. In the distance, you can see that the blasted, spiked ground dissolves into sand and dunes, leading toward a tropical oasis. That's the way you're headed. Behind you is the blasted, craggy lengths of Xorhas leading into the Kryn dynasty. Around you, you can see that the skies are a bright orange, black clouds intermingling, lightning striking overhead, gloomstalkers flying through the darkness, packs of moorbounders roving the wastes. Feels like home. But in the distance, that glittering city, that oasis, calls to you. Are you going to walk alone? Or would you like company? You hear a voice beside you. A drow stands next to you. His hair pulled tight at the back of his neck. His skin dark and dusty. A pair of spectacles on the tip of his long nose. Valis Desarin, at least that's what he's known as now, or was, stands beside you. But, of course, you'll always remember him by his real name. come a long way. Having you slow us around.
This doesn't feel like a memory, does it? This feels like a dream, like a
Feels like a dream. Yeah.
like current.
Hmm.
Yeah. I found some things of yours, I think.
I'd love to have them back.
I think I'm gonna keep them.
We could always share. You never were good at sharing. When this is all
I
over,
always thought of it was more that you were never that good at sharing. You never let me keep what I wanted to keep.
I feel like maybe we've matured since then. You know? Maybe just a little.
Ow. That's no fun.
When this is done, come find me if I'm alive.
I'll try.
And don't lose her. I was getting pretty used to her, he says, glancing down at the long sword at your hip. I'd love to have her back.
I mean, it was just you returning it to me now, wasn't it?
I mean, I think I had it for longer than you had it.
Yeah, longer first. We can debate about it later. I'm sure I'll do a better job of finding than you did.
And, I'm pretty sure I'll do a better job of debating than you will.
Nah, we can find that out later.
I can't wait to see your face again, Saren. Whichever face you're wearing at the time will be perfect. I hope I remember you.
Well, I suppose I can just keep reminding you. We could just keep trying until you do remember.
After my diapers are changed. Now wake up and give him hell. And with that, you're going to hear a bell toll outside, marking that it's just past 6 o'clock in the morning.
I think she's gonna like sit up with a bit of a gasp from that. That's how she wakes from it.
You just managed to get to sleep. Sleep is still, even after 2 decades or more of sleeping, it's still not something that you're used to. You had hundreds of years of trancing before that. And God, it is so hard to sleep with that racket going on through the wall. And the weirdest thing, you're halfway sure that it was coming from Xarria's room this time. So not only are those 2 kinky fucks keeping you awake all night, now they're stealing other people's rooms?
I think she's pretty aware of what sort of looks Xarria and Irvin were giving each other. She's not Sabina.
That's fair. If you have nothing else to do in the main city, then we pick up the next day. You meet outside of Bodhi's, head into a nearby alley, and with a crack of a teleportation tablet, you are suddenly transported back beneath the waves of Ankarel, into Kael Mora, into the drowned city. with all 10 of you there, it doesn't take terribly long for you to move through the depth to go and hunt down the places that had been mentioned. Io gives you, for one, quite an appraising look when you first arrived there with Irvin, Xarria. Galsari, it seems not to notice. Maggie honestly blushes a bit brown. And Dermot just gives you like kind of a smiling nod and a wave. And as you teleport down into the chamber there, quickly moving into the library to battle strategize, he would have smiled and said, I brought donuts. Might as well wake up right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, the best part of waking up is donuts in your gut.
Mm-hmm. I was also going to say Dorlen's, Dermot will hand that, not Dorlen, pardon me. I think I said Dorlen. I also brought a carafe of coffee, if anybody wants any.
Even better.
Mm-hmm.
Zenada does look a little tired because I think she probably spent like an hour or two after waking up mentally trying to figure out where the closest Luxon beacon was to where she was told Valos went down.
Who knows, really, right?
Yeah, but she probably spent a while mentally kind of like, all right, well, I haven't remapped them recently, but they were...
Valis quest.
Yeah.
So here's the plan, Io says. We're going to do some scouting around as well. Make sure that we have everything under control. We'll meet you at the rift in 1 hour or sooner. If you need any help, cast out the biggest spell you can that creates a light. Also, you mentioned sending stones. Do you have them?
Yes, we have a pair. You guys, take one. We can take one. We can talk.
Good. That's probably a little bit easier.
Rocky Talkies.
Yes, rather than
That's cute. I like that. That's clever.
wasting spell slots.
We're gonna need everyone that we can get. From what we've heard about the Netherdeep, this is going to be some rough shit.
I will offer if you run into an area where you think it's too risky to scout, call us over. I can send my shade in as a scout.
Well, we're definitely going to use that down under.
It pops real quick, but
At least we know
we
we're
can get
not
farther in and not be hurt.
I hear that you could probably call it back pretty easy.
Yeah.
Well, then who cares if it pops quick? Let's just get things under control. 1 hour, the front of the rift by the stairs. Good luck.
You too. Be careful.
We're gonna
Let's
go-
get me some ruidium.
Let's go to the
Everyone's
forest. The forest, I think we're supposed to go to.
Just what I always wanted. Corruption in your veins.
The best part of
You
waking
just
up
got-
is iridium in your veins. Yes.
You just gotta have it on you, right? You don't need to use it. Although-
Question.
I'm sure there
Have
will be
we-
desperate situations where that will come up, Dorlen.
Have we discussed whether Dax needs anything?
Oh crap!
have not.
Otherwise-
You have not.
No, we have not. All right, we need to get something for Dax.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good.
Is there any way to perhaps, if the ruidium rusts?
Oh, sorry. I have an idea, but go ahead. I'm learning patience.
Very good, Dorlen.
Well, if ruidium rusts, as they were saying, is it possible to perhaps empower the jewel? So if Xarria has the trident, perhaps we could put the jewel on his collar, and then I don't know if it's because it doesn't sound like that's going to be enough for you, and so it may not be enough for Dax as well. I don't know if animal physiology is different. He's quite tough, but I'm not. Sorry, rambling. That was my idea. Dorlen, what was yours?
Pull out her medal that they got from Jigao ages ago. Do you think we could try and corrupt this?
Are you saying this in front of the rivals?
Yes. Just for everyone, or...
You could also try to affix some ruidium to it. Xarria, it says. If it would stick on the brooch, just a chunk of it.
The trident. Are you using it? Or do you just have it because we need it?
Oh, I just have it. I'm not actually sure how to use it. I think I'd probably hurt myself.
What if we break it in two?
Would that be strong enough?
Like, we've got the shaft and the head. And, like, I can carry one of those, somebody else can carry the other, and then can take off the ring and tie it around Dax's neck. Like a collar with a little fancy bit.
Look, we're going to look around for things. Don't destroy anything that could be potentially useful until it is our last moment, please.
And like I said, it was an idea. And I was talking to people before I did it.
Well, why don't we split up, see what we can get in an hour, and then if we find 3 ruidium things, then we're good. And then afterwards, if there's a problem, then we'll figure out.
Okay.
What?
That sounds good. I wouldn't say that the pendant is uncorruptible, but I feel like the jewel would have some resistance to it. It feels different.
Were you seriously talking about giving a vestige to a no offense, but a big cat?
No, I was looking and see if we could corrupt the medallion we won at Jigao, and seeing if we could corrupt something like that.
Yeah, probably. It's a fucking Jigao medal. Yeah,
I just thought it would be easier because it was already made of iridium. It's never mind.
Well, it's not made of
it's
iridium.
a good idea. Why don't we let's tie it around the trident for now then, and see what happens while we go looking.
You should probably try to be nicer.
Sure.
Kaeko will tie the medal of strength around the trident.
Dermot, thank you for the donuts.
It's no problem. 1 hour. Don't be late, okay? I don't want to go in there without any of you, but I mean that's the rule.
Fair. We'll be back.
Sabina, you weren't stupid or anything like that. It's a good idea, but we don't want to target Dax. You know?
Slid up behind Sabina and been kind of like mildly glaring.
No, thank you, Kaeko. But I was just sorry. I got confused. The vestige works like iridium down here, and there was all this talk about it being possibly strong enough to get you through, and I just wasn't sure.
No, I get confused all the time. It's totally okay. Honestly, I sometimes forget why we're still doing this, but I trust in you guys.
We're doing it because it's the right thing to do.
Exactly.
Right thing to do. Well, I suppose let's go try not to get eaten by a bunch of aboleth spawn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck. Good luck. It'd be wonderful to see you again. Try not to get eaten like Irvin almost did. Thanks, Maggie. I appreciate that. Big.
Agreed. And Zenada will hold out a fist bump for Maggie.
That's
deal.
Well,
baby fist versus man fist.
We'll have to find some time to all sit around together and talk books after this is done.
That sounds really nice. I've been reading a lot, like you probably heard. I shouldn't have said anything. Right, break. With that, you head out into the undercity of Kael'Moro, moving your way through the dark expanses. Before long, you'll make your way to the kelp forest. There, you will find that ruins, old ruins, columns with intricate mosaic designs built into them, rises inside of a lush strand of kelp. Lush strands of kelp, I should say. For once a lush garden, the area is now filled with strands of kelp that rise to a height of about 30 feet. Small shrines built of pale stone stand among the growth. The surfaces, as you get closer, you'll see that they're carved not just with general mosaics, but the faces, or the images of the face of Corellon. Serene and benevolent.
This seems nice.
As you approach, you can see movement in the distance. A pair of humanoid creatures with 4 tremendous tentacles instead of legs skirt out of range. Sabina, you and Xarria are going to be able to see them. They couldn't beat your passive perception with their stealth, but it looks like they're trying to beat a retreat.
Probably just leave them be.
Yeah.
No. There are some over there, but perhaps we just leave them be. They seem to be retreating.
They don't look like they're going to try to hurt us, but we can always turn on them if they try.
Yes,
Soon.
while we're waiting, while we're doing around this, just so we don't get, surprised at all, Kaeko's going to, she's initially going to reach for her axe, but it's not there, so instead she will start pulling out her conducting wand, and she's just going to start kind of almost like scraping it against like a rock nearby, kind of that, and then just kind of pick up the magic and swirl around, and she's going to use her thing to to use her
Anxiety.
Yeah, I'm casting anxiety.
That's easy.
Which
We're
is
millennials.
my bardic inspiration. I know. It's my bardic inspiration. So now we
Aria of
have-
suspense.
Yeah, Aria of suspense.
The Xarria of suspense?
The
So
Zenada of
now
suspense?
we can't be surprised for the next 10 minutes. That's a D20, Robin, not a D8 that I'm supposed to roll. And we are going to, you can add 5 to any environmental checks and saving throws.
Perfect.
Or not checks, just saving throws. Ha ha ha.
Nice.
Okay, sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you are all empowered by your spell, and do you head into the kelp forest?
Absolutely.
Okay. Anybody who heads inside the kelp forest can do me a favor and make me an investigation roll.
Ooh. Yeah, investigation's good stuff.
Yeah.
Would love to
26.
try.
Holy crap.
Ooh.
I rolled
I got
a
a
dork
12.
tails.
You rolled
so
a
that's
nat
gonna
20?
be 20 for
Oh.
Kaeko. Kaeko rolled it at 20. That's a 20 for Kaeko.
Okay.
15.
16?
15 with my stupid
15?
minus
Okay.
1.
All right. Sabina and
And,
Xarria
sorry,
are
what was it for again? Investigation.
to look for stuff.
Yes.
I got it.
That'll be a 15.
15? Okay, so Xarria, you're keeping an eye out for those things to return, so you're a little distracted. The thought of them sneaking up behind you is enough to put you a little bit ill at ease. As you are looking around, though, each of you are going to find little traces of, well, what looks like infighting, actually. As you're waiting for them to return, Xarria, and keeping an eye out, You are going to be just kind of like watching the northern exit of the kelp forest, which is where they went off to. Sabina, as you're looking around, you are going to find that nearby to Xarria, you can see tentacles kind of drifting around a corner right behind her. You almost draw your bow before your keen eye and knowledge of aberrants will make you realize that it's not a living aboleth spawn. It's a dead one. Just around the corner of one of these shrine buildings that Xarria is keeping a watch from. Do you approach?
Xarria, but she'll, having caught at least someone's attention, walk over and sort of investigate a little bit.
You will find that there's an aboleth spawn with a spear plunged through its face. The spear is fairly roughly crafted. Veins of ruidium dance down its haft from where they have spread from its kind of onyxy tip. However, can you make me a survival roll? Or an investigation roll, whichever you'd prefer. I think it's going to be survival.
That's a nat 20. Ooh, on the Christmas dice.
This haft was designed for long fingers. Long, like aboleth spawn. It still is covered with a layer of goo, like mucus from a slime creature. Like basically just like one of these... This looks like it was wielded by an aboleth. And what you are going to realize, because of your specialty in aboleths as your favorite enemy, that without a central aboleth, sometimes aboleth spawn are prone to turn on each other and factionalize.
How big is this spear?
The spear is a normal size spear for like a human size. Okay. So an aboleth
big
spawn.
For me.
It's big for you. You could break off part of it if you really wanted to. You could just, but you do have like a little chunk of ruidium if you want to break the tip off.
Yeah, she'll probably try to like pull the whole thing out if she can.
Mm-hmm. You totally can. You can actually pull it through the head. There is not even a jump scare. It will come out with like a, and like this oozy blood will kind of dribble like dropping ink in water through the air as you pull it out.
Amazing. She will do that.
Love it.
And kind of call out to, not too loudly, but call out to Dorlen. Dorlen, can you come here?
Dorlen, you cannot hear with your perception score. Okay. So Dorlen, as you're looking around, you actually make me a perception roll. You got a 26 on investigation?
Investigation, yeah.
Sounds
26
good.
on investigation, though my perception is... that will be a 7.
Cool. What kind of shoes do you wear?
They are part of my armor, my boots.
So they're iron boots?
Yep.
Okay.
That are cannot be removed.
I need you to make me a dex save.
All right. Ooh. That will be not good. Less than 10, significantly.
Less than 10. Okay, so Sabina, you can see Dorlen hunting around through some of the ruins a bit ahead of you, and you'll say, Dorlen, right? And he'll actually kind of go, huh? And like perk up and turn to look at you. And do you wave him over?
Yeah, wave him over.
So Dorlen, you take a step, and the ground in front of you is covered in silt and just general like lake bottom type of detritus. Detritus? Whatever. Crap.
Detritus?
Right? Now, you never know when you're saying it like that. You take a step, and what looks like a particularly smooth piece of tile is going to go and shoot out from under your feet as if you were stepping on a toboggan in the snow, and you were going to go and fall straight on your ass, like in the water. It's actually, you're amazed by how quick you hit the ground, and your butt's a little bruised. You're not hurt otherwise. But Sabina, Dorlen's about 20 feet away from you. There's going to be and this big piece of metal is going to launch at your face. Can you make me a dex save, and Xarria make me a dex save?
Oh no!
Sure.
Okay.
I found a trap.
I found a trap.
That's
That's 17.
Dorlen's the trap.
Dorlen's a trap.
Dex 8, 9, 10, 11. Can I use my determination?
You can if you want to.
Yeah, I probably should. It'll be a 16.
You can if you want to. It's not coming at you that fast.
Well, it'll be a 12 otherwise, and I'm a little.
It's not coming at you that fast.
Okay.
That's
I
the
won't
cue,
use it then.
Krista. That's the cue.
I know, but I don't.
You can if you want to. You can. I'll make something funny happen if you spend it.
I would like to spend it then.
Okay, then it's done. All right, and what'd you get, Xarria?
Oh, that's 17.
17? Okay, so you are going to dodge out of the way as this big honking piece of metal goes boom, 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 across the water. It should not be able to move this fast, but because it is slightly pointed at one end, it is spiraling through the water like a skipping stone. And as it is headed directly for your head, Sabina, there's going to be a sudden sploosh motion through the water. And Dax is going to leap in front of you and catch it with his mouth like a frisbee.
Oh.
And he's going, which is kind of awkward because of the tusks.
I was going to say it pierces through.
It's not going to pierce through at all. He's going to manage to actually kind of just like grab it with his tusks and go and shake it off. And dropping at your feet, you are going to see that there is a shield lined with ruidium veins that Dorlen found in the silt by accident. You saw something red when you looked up, and what it looks like is that.
Ooh. Also,
Fancy.
I realized, quick question, because we haven't really done environmental stuff. Would that stuff have counted as environmental hazards?
No, that's a fluke. But yeah, that's a good question to ask.
No.
So
we haven't done much of the Ari's suspense been used for the surprise, not
fair.
so much the environmental stuff. So I just want to.
I'll say that, yeah.
that.
I'll say that, yeah. It helped Dax catch it for sure. So what it looks like is a kite shield with some notches cut out of either side of the longer flank of it, with a pommel in the center. No, that's not what it's called. What's the round bit on a shield? It is called a. I just upgraded mine in God of War.
Rodlin.
A nubbin.
It's a ront? A round?
No, I also just a rond. You might be
It's a
wrong. I
rond.
also
You're right.
just
It's a rond.
upgraded
So a
my
big
shield
center,
in
like a button,
God of
basically,
War.
like a giant thing for deflecting blows off of it. You're supposed to have the sword hit the rond, so it doesn't break the wood.
Sorry, did you say a button?
It's like
Oh
no.
my goodness.
Okay, so you will find that. Meanwhile, across the way, Zenada, you are poking around kind of near Kaeko, and as you do, you are going to find a half-eaten body rotting around the corner in one of these temples. There you will see that there is, well, an explorer, water-bloated, rotting, and dressed like a member of the Legions of Allsight. There's nothing particularly special about them. But as you look at them, they do have one bit of accoutrement that hasn't been stripped off or lost. A brooch. A shining brooch shaped like a shield on their lapel.
Okay.
It is not
is
ruidium.
shining red? No? Oh.
It is not. It has actually managed to not be, but it still looks like it could be potentially interesting.
I will pull it off.
Perfect. You are going to easily be able to get that off. It actually kind of looks like it's like a brooch clasp of like two shields with a lock in the middle.
Okay. So kind of like a cloak clasp?
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. And as we head
yes, please.
so that after a little bit of investigation, Dorlen will be able to tell you almost immediately that is a brooch of shielding. And then finally, Kaeko, as you are looking around, you are going to, against all odds, round a corner and go, make kind of a frustrated look after about 15 minutes of searching, and just kind of lean on a bit of the structure. And as you do, your Goliath strength is going to push on it, and there is a bit of give to this part of the stone wall. Do you pull or push on it?
Think start doing like the Jenga method, where you just like start tapping in to see if it's gonna give. If not, she'll pull.
A section of the wall that looks like it's fused together will pull out, and you can see that there is a small hoard behind it. Quite small, about the size of a footlocker. Within it, you will see that there is a pouch overflowing with 156 gold pieces in various denomination of coin, but enough that it weighs about 5 pounds worth of coin.
Nice.
As well, you will see that there is, laying atop of it, a short sword, struck through with iridium. Looks like it had been squirreled away here by one of the aboleth spawn. And with that, you now have quite a few items.
Kaiko's gonna make her way back.
So if I can finally get Dorlen to come over, she's gonna hold up the spear and go, Dorlen, can you spray this for me? It's got a lot of goo on it, and I wanted to give it to Zenada.
Oh, hey, I found a shield.
Yes, my face almost found it as well, but Dax seemed to have helped that.
We'll bring out his spray and prestidigitate the spear to try and clean it.
It's less gooey. It's amazing that works underwater.
Of course it does.
It's really true.
You think I didn't account for that?
I found a sword. Kaiko will come back, waving the short sword.
Oh, wonderful.
Halfling, you can short sword, right?
Very possibly. Yes. I found this, and Dorlen found the shield. Do we think we can attach the shield to Dax? Just strap it to his back?
Or break off the spear tip, potentially?
I could give Dax the ring and he could wear it as a collar.
Oh, that works too.
I'll just take, like, the shield or a spear or something.
Okay. Yes.
That ring's real good, though.
It is, but Dax could use it.
Dax would like to rage.
Oh my god, can you imagine?
I don't think Dax could actually use it.
No, it requires multiple actions, right? Which unless I'm dead, he doesn't use.
Yeah, so if you kill Sabina, then it's great for Dax, but until then, maybe save it.
So
I'll just play Dax for the rest of the
So
game.
if Sabina dies, Sabina dies and Dax has the ring, then Dax can red rage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and he will be raged because Sabina's dead.
See, I really like the idea of him just with a turtle, just with the shield on his back.
Sure,
I think
we can
that's
put
awesome.
the shield on.
Yeah.
Whatever. works.
Or we can snap the head off and use it.
Let's take a look at what. Let's take a look at what all these things do.
Well, I think it makes sense for Dax to have the shield because Zenada already has that magic shield, so she won't probably use that shield.
Well, and I found it. And Spear, Zenada, would you like this?
Do I actually need to use it to get the ruidium, or
I think you just need to have it on you.
As well, because I don't think I can actually use a trident.
I think you just have to have it on your person.
Okay, because I literally can't use it. A martial weapon.
Is it a
I realize
martial weapon?
it's a martial weapon.
Could you use the spear?
You could use a spear. Out of character. So theoretically,
I just thought it looked really cool.
Trident. It does look very cool.
It does look very
cool. That. Let's ask that as an out of character question, just as a confirmation, Kelly. We don't have to use the items. We just have to.
It needs
have
to be
them.
on your person. It needs to be attuned to you. Is the big one. Now that being said,
so it counts as an attunement slot then?
I should. Let me double check.
Because I know my
Scissors,
frostband
magic
sword
items.
was, so yeah, I'm just I'm good. I have 2 out of 3 right now for my attunement.
Give me
but I was just
one
wondering.
second.
I think I've got 3 out of 4, so I'm good.
Nice.
It does require attunement. Yeah.
I want you.
Now that said,
Let's see what everything does.
I will allow a trident to be used as a simple weapon proficiency for you, Xarria.
Sweet.
You
That's
are
awesome.
a cleric.
It looks cool.
Well, I mean, clerics have some martial, right?
There's a couple that they get.
They get a couple. I'm assuming that a big fork kind of fits. I think tieflings are devils. They should be proficient with tridents. Or
There you
because they're
go.
devils, okay? There we go. I'm weighing in on this.
Perfect.
No, clerics are just simple weapons. What am I doing with my life?
Yeah. It's just all
So I'm gonna
simple
say that just to be a stereotypical devil girl, you're proficient with a trident.
Amazing.
'Cause it
Oh,
looks cool.
there are a number of cleric subclasses. Because I was like,
It'll
but
allow it.
Francis is
Yeah.
proficient in all martial
I
weapons.
forget what the
but
Raven
it's-
Queen gives you. Proficiency
Yeah.
in like feathers or something. You can tickle your enemies to death.
All right, tieflings can use forks.
There you go.
Perfect.
All right. So I guess the quick question would be then, did the longsword require attunement?
Yes, it does.
Okay. How many spots can you have of attunement? I can't remember.
3 unless
3?
you're Dorlen.
Awesome. Okay. So I could attune to the spear and just be carrying it, basically.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. Because the brooch needs it, the sword needs it, and the spear needs it, and then that's it. Luckily, the shield does not need it.
Need attunement?
According to the wiki dot, it doesn't.
Oh, really?
Sentinel
Magic shield?
It's uncommon.
Hold on,
Shield
let me
of protection.
No, it's sentinel shield.
Ruidium shield requires attunement. Are you talking about the
This
sentinel
is a
shield?
sentinel shield
Yeah.
that I
Perfect.
have. No, it does not require attunement according to wiki dot.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair. All ruidium items do require attunement.
Okay.
So, but just to state that's not what you're asking, but I'm just stating that so that it's across the table.
Random just looked it up. Blood domain
I was
does
just
give
about to say
proficiency
that.
with martial. So tridents are
I
good.
missed that. I
But
missed
you
it.
already were proficient because you were a tiefling.
Perfect.
Okay,
I like
that's
it.
the-
Yeah.
Doubly proficient.
I
Nobody
thought we
can
I
use
thought we
forks,
had
too.
this conversation because I remember it was like between Kaeko and Xarria. So I thought we had
Yes.
this conversation.
And
about
if
it.
you are
So next
ever
time you want to play a tiefling wizard, you remember
in this campaign or in my world, yeah, okay.
Yeah, if you're playing under Kelly.
Amazing.
Yep. And you'll have advantage if you're in the 9 hells and using a trident as a tiefling.
Nice.
But only if the
Excellent.
person is suffering or evil. Yeah. All right. So enough of that. So about a half hour's passed. Probably a good time to be getting headed back.
Yep.
Okay. As you do so, you make your way back, and do you just call it a sending stone?
Yeah.
Request?
Probably.
Okay. You contact the other party, and they say that good, shouldn't be a problem. We'll be there in 5. Irvin had to do something stupid. You know, the usual.
Oh dear.
You make your way back to the base of the rift. Once more, you stand at that gaping rift, the pulsating with its sickly red light, black energy swirling with oily colors, shimmers and hisses at the opening of the rift, and glowing spines of ruidium sprout from its edges, forming jagged, partially intact dome around the space. The other party meets you there about the same time you arrive. And Io will say, did you manage to find everything?
Yep. We're all Ruidianed up.
Great. We're ready to go too. Do you have something for your moorbounder?
Point at him as a
He's-
turtle.
Yeah. He's a turtle now.
Do one of you want to use that shield? We could probably rig something up for you.
What's the shield do?
A quick investigation. You take a short rest to look it up. The shield gives you resistance to psychic damage. And if you take psychic damage while holding it, you can choose your reaction to give the psychic damage to someone else.
Wow.
Man, I would
Rad.
love that, but I have to have a
Good.
hand free to do my bardic inspiration, so I cannot do a shield.
I'm ranged.
I
You
use a
use
shield.
shields? Do you want to use a shield?
Sure, I could trade.
But you have a
Trident.
trident.
Cool, though.
The trident's way cooler. What are you talking about?
Okay, chip the stuff off the trident, put it in a thing in a locket for Dax, and then you can keep the trident.
Well, what'd you guys do with the spear?
That's
Zenada has it.
Zenada.
Oh, okay.
Zenada, would you prefer to have a trident on hand or a spear?
I don't really care. I think the
Okay.
trident is a slightly higher attack damage roll, but
Might
So
be.
why don't you take that and then we'll snap the arrow or the spearhead off and just put it on Dax's collar?
I think Xarria wants the trident. Come on. She's fought for it.
Which do you want? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
It is
Never
a nice
mind
shield,
then.
though.
Okay, the shield
We
will
will
save
continue being a
Dax.
turtle.
The
Yeah,
shield will
exactly.
save Dax.
Yeah.
All right. So you've got a more bounder.
Fuck min-maxing.
torso.
Right?
But it looks
We don't
cooler.
optimize here.
Dramatic.
No.
I honestly, fuck min-maxing. Have fun
Agreed.
playing the game the way you want to play. If that's how you do it, you do it. Just gonna double check. So we've got Ruidium Warhammer on them, Ruidium Javelin, Ruidium Armor, Ruidium Short Sword, and Ruidium Staff. On
Oh
their
right,
team.
what does the short sword do?
So it does the same 2d6 psychic damage on top of all other damage. So 1d6
Is there a
plus
save for
2d6
that?
psychic. Sorry?
Is there a save or anything? It just does it.
It just does it.
Cool.
You hit a creature, it does 2d6. You sneak attack a creature, it does 2d6 plus xd6 plus d6.
Gross.
You get a crit on that, and then you smite at the same time. You just spend an hour rolling dice. The
Does
DM
the-
goes out
the
for a smoke
spear-
break.
You're
anything?
Christine, you roll an at 20 and it gets you did double the dice.
The
does the
spear, I
spear
think,
have anything interesting?
It does an additional 2d6 psychic damage.
Cool. Same idea.
I want that shield, but I can't use it.
Can't use it.
Oh. I could use it, but I can't. With my hands. Do bardic. You
Yeah.
fuck bardic.
All right.
Oh, I do
Well,
have
you-
smite.
If there's any Ruidium weapons in there, you can always upgrade if you need a better loadout. But there was a Ruidium axe down in the lower villa, but it had a Death's Embrace there, and I am not fucking with one of those again.
Hmm.
What's a death's
Makes sense.
embrace?
A jellyfish of doom.
Remember they talked about
Yeah.
it earlier?
They explained
someone
it.
else did, yes. Evil fucking jellyfish. Alright, how do we just go into this rift? We've talked about it.
Well, according to what we heard, you just need to touch one of these to it, but you want to do the honors, priest girl?
I could. Sure.
Do you
If
step
something
toward-
bad happens to
I just like the.
Okay. As you take a step toward the rift, you feel the weight of the Ruidium in your hands. As you get about 10 feet away, though, preparing to plunge the trident in, the Jewel of Three Prayers begins to hum against your breast, glowing. And then, suddenly, the light continues to just pulse and glow to an apex, and then a beam of light will fire out of it, striking the center of the rift. cutting through the oily covering. And as that happens, I need everyone within 60 feet of the rift, so everybody, to make me a saving throw.
Kind.
A particular kind of
it's going to be a
saving throw?
charisma saving throw.
Yes! Baby!
Right.
Christa, that's not too bad.
Oh, that's not good.
That's a
She
17.
saved that determination.
Dirty 20.
19.
11. Ooh, no.
Okay, so hold on one sec. I'm going to go through this list. That's boop. That's boop. That's roll for Dax as well.
I'm working on that, just doing the math.
Good thing Dax has resistance to psychic. I don't know
Well,
but
I don't think he can attune to things.
Oh, I would assume not. I assume
I'm
beast
trying to
companions
remember. I
can't do
have
it.
some note about the sword being resistant from the change, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, so that sort of being resistant from the what?
The long brand sword, was that resistant to psychic?
No, it gave psychic. It was additional psychic. Okay, so
Mhm.
everybody who rolled an 18 or higher on the charisma save
Doof!
is fine. As this is pierced, you're going to hear an anguished wave rip through each of your minds, and even if you succeeded, it's going to hurt as you take half on a success of 33 points of psychic damage that
Oh my
rips
God, it
through
was.
your mind.
the shield.
I-
Mistakes were made.
It's true. There's this horrible screaming sadness that rips through each of you. Blood will begin pouring down your nose, out your ears, your eyes will begin to well up. As you look nearby, one of Maggie's eyes is going to well up with blood, and she's going to stumble backwards, having botched her save. And is going to
no.
take a knee for a moment, trying to catch her breath. And as she does, she's going to scratch at her neck where she's wearing her iridium armor, and you're going to see that there are red boils around the collar of it. I'm okay. I'm okay. Let's go. We don't have time to rest. We can rest on the other side.
Okay.
Do you head through?
I'm gonna go over to Maggie anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Just will help a little.
Okay. What do you do?
Just cast Cure Wounds. So I'll be like, ha, and heal her for 10.
Okay. For 10? Perfect.
Yeah.
Minus
Not much,
56.
but I think I need a stronger formula.
All right, Echoes. No time like the present. What do you say? Let's go conquer the Netherdeep, Io says,
Let's-
hoisting her javelin.
Let's do it.
Save Elixirman.
Yes, let's finish this.
And with that, you step through the rift and in to the Netherdeep, which is where we're going to pick up next time here on Dork Tales. I hope you all had fun with that. You guys have
Oh my
finally
God.
made it to the Netherdeep.
How much damage was it if you
Oh
failed?
man.
If you failed, it was 33. If you succeeded, it was 16.
Ouch.
And if you
Okay,
botched, it
I
was
just gotta say-
66.
30, I thought you said 33 was half.
No,
And I
half
was
of-
like, I'm
No.
sorry. Maggie just botched that, took double damage. and was
Oh
fine.
my
Oh no,
God.
she took 66 and a knee and was like, oh god, oh god.
Okay.
And she also botched her
Ooh.
save, which, given that she's wearing the iridium armor, is not something you want to do.
No.
All right. So folks, that's it from us. How y'all feeling? Was that a good time?
Oh,
That
that
was
scene
good.
with
Yeah.
Zenada.
Oh my God.
my
And Valis
God.
was just like, oh, my
My
heart.
heart. My heart.
I was like, I'm glad I was muted because I was bawling. Like
I saw you, and I was like, "Are you okay?" Like,
I wasn't.
Krista.
I was not okay.
This is not okay.
I'm sorry, but I think I found some of your things. Or some
It
things
popped
that
into
belong-
my head, and I was
That was
like, "Yeah, I'm gonna say it.
Yeah,
It's gonna wreck them, but I'm gonna say it."
Yeah, and then when you were like, and you thought you were gonna keep them too, it was just like, the buddy system won over.
They're growing on me. Dorlen's kind of like fungus, honestly.
Yeah, he's kind of like a fungus. He just grows on you.
God. Well,
Yeah.
I was like prepped because fucking Iwo was like making me cry. Like I was just barely holding it together through that.
And then Zenada had been all
And
nice
then
then
Zenada
too.
wrecked me.
And
Yes, you're both the worst.
Nice. All right. So, folks, that is going to be it for us tonight. Thank you so much for being here and for watching. We're finally in the Netherdeep, which means that I think we've got probably half a dozen episodes left before we're getting to the meat and potatoes of this. And I am very excited to see where this goes, because from here it is a field trip, and you all have signed your permission slips. So
Forge mine.
yeah, that's the important thing. We're going to be back next week on Tuesday, and be sure to come tomorrow for Dragonlance. It's going to be a fantastic time. If you're listening on podcast, Dragonlance will be, I'll start putting it out at the beginning of the year so that I have a backlog just in case. It gives me a little more time to edit it and come up with the podcast stuff for it. But in the meanwhile, I just want to say thank you to everybody who watches this show, listens to it. If you want to help the channel grow, definitely give us some reviews, follow, sub. Half of you who are watching on YouTube are not subscribed to the channel. You can sub, turn the bell on if you want, or just leave it off so you don't get the notifications if that's something that bugs you. But having our subscriber numbers up really does make a difference. Because it helps us like work with other companies and show some clout. And I would love to be one of the bigger non-Critical Role channels that do this kind of stuff on YouTube. I think that'd be fantastic, and you can help us get that.
You've already made us influencers, coffee influencers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make us ones that are more gaming specific.
Right, that would be fantastic. Also, if you want to support the channel directly, you can, of course, subscribe here on Twitch, like Precarious did with dropping those 50 subs at the beginning of the episode. Oh my God. It was ridiculous. Or you can join us over at patreon.com/dorktales, where for $1 a month, you can just give us $1 a month. But for $5 a month, you can get access to some behind the scenes featurettes, a ton of additional games. Next week and this week, I'm writing and putting up content for the book I'm working on for our homebrew setting, which you will be getting free of charge if you're a patron. And it's pretty fantastic. So go over there, and we're 6 if it takes till the end of the month, patrons away from having Radiant Citadel also being run on the channel. And after Radiant Citadel, who knows, maybe it'll be a Hunter game or a Cyberpunk game. I don't know. I'm gonna let you all vote on Patreon as to what our new filler games are that we run once a month. So anyway, that's going to be it from us. A quick thank you to our big patrons, though. To Schulten, the world building producer. Thank you so much for all of your support, dude. I can't wait to run the campaign that we're building together. It's going to be awesome. To DM Michael Gray, the Great and Powerful, and my mom, Jan Clark, the even more powerful because she's my mom. No offense, Mike. Thank you so much for being divine producers. To Soul Omen and Precarious. Precarious, you are amazingly generous, which means that you're a lawful evil devil, and I know you're trying to butter me up for something down the line. Soul Omen, you are obviously neutral evil or chaotic evil, because I do see the things that you send me in Discord that you keep telling me to do, and you kind of won me over with the last one. So I'm gonna. So those I needed something, and you sent me those, and I'm like, I'm going to tweak it a little for copyright reasons, but yeah, I'm going to use something like that. And then I got to thank Tammy, the Wizard of the Patreon, who can use me as a reference on her resume anytime that she wants, as well as our Princess of the Patreon, the Traveler, Cubby Gummy, Amberthist, Buddy, Taryn, the original Dork Tales fangirl, and, of course, Trizelta's leg.
Just the leg.
Just the leg.
And if you are not one of those amazing patrons, but you are on one of the lower tiers, like I know a number of us are, and you want to hear Kelly call you out, go watch the holiday special, because he gives everybody a shout out at the end, and y'all deserve to hear it because it goes on forever because we have so many amazing patrons.
Also, just watch the holiday special.
It's very good.
It's real good. So with that, thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate you being here, and we will see you next time. Good night, everybody.
Good night.